Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way. And by Yoo-Hoo, America's #1 chocolate drink.
Welcome to the Phillies Today. Hi, I'm Bob Bradley. Well, get a comfortable seat and hang on. Here we go. The Phillies and the Braves in Game 2. Yes, we do have the highlights of last night's ball game. 13 innings, 7-5 Phillies win, complete with the home runs and the altercation. Tonight, it'll be young Mark Davis making his 1981 debut against knuckleballer Phil Niekro. Now, Niekro is 5-4 this year, lifetime 23-15 against the Phillies. His ERA this year, 3.48. You know about his magic. Mark Davis, left-hander, just up from Oklahoma City after 3 strong outings. Outstanding last year at Reading, arm problems this year. But the big story in Philadelphia, of course, is that as a result of last night's altercation, Dallas Green has been suspended indefinitely. We want to switch to the vet right now, where Harry Callis and Andy Musser are standing by. And Harry, if you have a monitor handy, let's all look at the tape together.
All right, Bob, we have it, and let's see the play. This is the controversial play. Dale Murphy was the batter, Chris Chambliss at first base, and the Braves had a go-ahead run at third base. Ron Reed delivers. Now here's Boa's play. Did he or did he not get the bag? Steve Fields, the second base umpire, said no and disallowed what was an apparent double play. And here comes Big D, and the fireworks will start. Dallas is having a tough time, Andy, not only arguing with Fields, but keeping Bo away.
Yeah, I think he went out there initially to keep Bo away, but he was also awfully upset, and I don't know which is the tougher project, to keep Bo out of there or to get his say in.
There was his great kick. Kept his head down well, kicking Fields' hat. He kicked his hat and then Fields' hat. I'll tell you, Dick Vermeil would have been proud the way Dallas stayed right out, and now Ron Reed, Phillies pitcher, lifting Dallas right away from the scene. But for that, Dallas Green has received a suspension. Larry Bowa, of course, is still irate. We won't know, Andy, what is going to happen to Larry Bowa, I guess, for a few days until they look at the tapes.
Yeah, they'll have to judge based on the tapes, Harry, and of course, I'm sure that Boa will get some kind of a fine. I doubt if he'll be suspended. I think that's probably a little harsh considering this play, but I'm sure a fine will be involved, but that's good for the Phillies because Boa will be able to play through that.
There were all kinds of highlights from last night's game. Almost forgotten Mike Schmidt's dramatic 8th-inning home run, Manny Trio's home run, and it came after what I guess you could term a knockdown pitch from Al Raboski.
I thought it was a knockdown pitch. I thought he was coming after him, and that always shows a lot of courage when you get right up off the mat like that and then hit a game-winning blow. And you know, it's the second time this year the Trio has hit a home run in extra innings to win a ball game. Manny, not known for his power, certainly is becoming known for his clutch hitting anyway.
Andy, I had a chance to visit briefly with Mark Davis before the game tonight. He appears to be very, very relaxed. I think he's somewhat surprised that all of this has transpired because he did miss the first half of the season with tendonitis of the pitching arm. I think if Marty Bystrom was okay, then this might not have happened. But with Bystrom shelved for who knows how long, that's it. And he's being pressed to it tonight, but he looked awfully relaxed.
Well, I think he's a pretty confident kid. You know, he has an awful lot of natural ability. And I think that he is in a spot now where he could actually be the Marty Bystrom of this current season. He's going to be given the opportunity. And since the Phillies are in a situation here where these second half games aren't quite as crucial as the first half games, it's an opportunity to go out there and make some mistakes if he has to and get a chance to prove himself. He's got a lot of natural stuff. I think he'll do well.
Another great night for baseball, Bob, and the ball club will be run by Bobby Wine and by Herm Starrett in the absence of Dallas.
Thank you again, Harry and Andy. Well, I'm sure you want to see the ball game's highlights, the complete highlights, all the home runs and everything else. They're coming up next on the Phillies Today after this break.
If you've ever had the feeling you had to wait forever for a Subaru station wagon, here's good news. They're available now with on-demand four-wheel drive or front-wheel drive. But because of Subaru mileage, Subaru sticker prices, and Subaru durability, Better see your Subaru dealer soon, before they start disappearing again.
Test drive the exciting 1981 Subaru at the Delaware Valley dealer nearest you.
Dinner! Well, it's about time!
When the real taste of beer is everything you thirst for. The original Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer. Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer.
Come on, Miss Brown! You can make it! Talk to it!
Switch your checking to PSFS. That way you can do all your regular banking in just one stop. Checking at PSFS. It helps make banking quicker and easier.
We can help you make it.
So do your checking at the bank where your savings earn more. PSFS.
We can help you make it.
Switch to PSFS.
We can help you make it.
All right, in case you'd forgotten, the Phillies actually won that ball game yesterday, and that is their 4th win in a row. And, of course, they picked it up the hard way in 13 innings. The pitching was good. Both starters deserved to win. First inning, Larry Christensen, breezing, strikes out Claudell Washington. He went a little more with his fastball last night. The Phillies' first runners on first and second. Tommy Boggs fans Gary Matthews. And Boggs is Atlanta's tough luck pitcher. Now, Schmidt at the plate. Boggs attempts a pickoff. And his throw goes into center field. And Rose moves to third. And McBride goes to second. And this sets up the first run of the ball game. Mike Schmidt at the bat. He's going to get it home. Schmidt wraps a single to center. Rose scores. Bake is very aggressive. Tries to score. He is nailed at the plate by Dale Murphy's strong throw. But the Phils have a 1-0 lead. The Phillies maintain that lead until the 4th. Chris Chambliss leads off. Bang! There she goes. Home run to right field, never a doubt. He got it all. Plenty of power in that Atlanta Braves lineup. And that's what Mark Davis is going to be concerned about tonight, the long ball. Tie ball game 1-1. Then, with runners at second and third, Rafael Ramirez hits a ball deep to left center. Now watch this. He is not known for his power, but this is over Matthews' head, and it'll bounce over the fence. Ground rule double. Braves lead 3-1. Both runners score, Hubbard and Benedict. Quite a clout for the little guy. And the lead held up for a long time. Plenty of frustration. For example, in the Phillies' 4th, Tommy Boggs getting Schmidt looking. Boggs has pitched well in the second season. In the 6th inning, Mike's troubles in the field continue as he grounds into a twin killing this time. But he'd already committed 2 errors up to this point in the ball game. But, of course, with Mike, it's just a matter of time. He'll have his moment. Chris Chambliss, the batter, with Brett Butler at second base. He's a rookie just brought up from Richmond. Chambliss lines out to Maddox in center. Butler, too aggressive, takes off and is doubled off second. A mental mistake and a big break for the Phillies. Still, a 3-1 ball game. Now we go into the 8th inning. Billy Cox, keep your eyes open. Watch this. Mike Schmidt, the batter. Runners on second and third. And there she goes. 2 on, 2 out. Look at the jubilation. Pete Rose celebrating already. Mike had 4 RBIs on the night, tying him for the league lead with Foster at 59. Doffs his cap in the dugout. 21st home run of the year. Leads both leagues. Some of the fans all ready to head for the exits. Too early. In the 9th, Sparky Lyle, after giving up a walk and then a ball to Jerry Royster, serves up a base hit to Chambliss. Royster scores. Runners at the corners with 1 out. Now it's a tie ball game. Go ahead run on third. Phillies need a double play. Ron Reed comes in to pitch, and here's what follows. Did he touch second? Well, there's your controversial play. Is it over? No, sir. Come on back, Pete. What happened? Well, as you know by now, Boa apparently missed the tag, according to the ruling by Steve Fields, the second base umpire. Boa's out of the game. Dallas Green is out of control. He knocks Fields' cap off, and he's tossed out of the ball game. This is straight from the Earl Weaver, Billy Martin Handbook of Protestation. Now, Reed does not get a save for that. The Phillies trail 5-4 because that runner scored from third. They have lost their shortstop. They have lost their manager. and spirits may have sunk a little. But this night would belong to the Phillies. The Phillies get another chance in the ninth. Runners at first and second, one away. Del Unser pinch hitting for Reed. Ground ball. Looks like a double play out at second. Throw to first. Wild. Manny Trio trots home with a tying run. We're going to go into extra innings. And then in came Mr. Excitement. Oh, we don't mean Wayne Newton. Acting manager Bobby Wine brought in Tug McGraw in relief, and the Tugger pitched magnificently. Here he records his 5th strikeout. Larry Owen goes down. Final out in the 13th. He pitched 4 perfect innings, going principally with a fastball, and now into the Phillies' 13th. There's the mad Hungarian Al Robowski. Manny Trio at bat. Manny gets his pitch, drives it over the wall and left. With Moreland aboard, the Phillies have won a very unusual, exciting ball game. 7-5 in 13 innings. They have won 4 in a row. Plan to send their rookie Mark Davis to the mound tonight against veteran knuckleballer Phil Niekro. Guarantee you one thing, it won't be dull. We want to take a look at the action elsewhere in the major leagues last night. One game played this afternoon. All that still to come on the Phillies today after this break.
Most car commercials try to sell automobiles with scenes like these. Subaru thought you'd like to see how a Subaru works on the roads of Pennsylvania. Visit your nearest Subaru dealer and test drive the Subaru that will best do your job for you. Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way.
Test drive the exciting 1981 Subaru at the Delaware Valley dealer nearest you.
Well, let's start with yesterday's action in the American League. Texas blanked the Blue Jays 3-0 on a 6-hitter by Doc Medich, his 3rd shutout of the season. Oakland bombarded the Indians 16-4. They clouded Cleveland's pitchers for 20 hits. The Royals toppled the Tigers 4-2, ending the Bengals' winning streak at 9 games. Amos Otis hit a 2-run double in the 8th to break a 2-2 tie. The Brewers beat the White Sox 5-4. Cecil Cooper drove in 3 runs with 3 hits and raising his average to 300. Minnesota took the Yankees 3-2 in 12 innings. Ken Herbeck provided the game-winning blow, a home run in the 12th, his first major league game. Baltimore blasted the Mariners 12-8. Rich Dower hit 2 home runs, drove in 5 runs. Dennis Martinez picked up his 9th win. And the Angels came from behind to defeat the Red Sox 8-6. The Angels came up with a 6-run rally in the 6th. In the National League, the Cubs beat the Padres. They did it in 10 innings. Mike Tyson driving in Ivan De Jesus with a pinch hit double in the 10th. Final score 9-8. The Cardinals beat the Giants. They keep pace 2-1 on Tommy Herr's run-scoring single in the 10th. Jim Cott picked up the win for the Redbirds. The Dodgers downed the Pirates 3-0. Bert Hooton's 4-hit shutout, his 9th win. Hooton, by the way, hasn't allowed an earned run in 23 straight innings. And the Reds shut out the Mets on Bruce Bereni's 2-hitter. It was Bereni's 3rd shutout this year. Let's talk about what's happening tonight in the major leagues. And look at this. We've already got a score in the American League for you. Texas has beaten Toronto by a score of 6-1. The winning pitcher, Ferguson Jenkins, and Buddy Bell hit his 10th home run of the season. Cleveland is leading Oakland 1-0. That's an 8th inning score. Kansas City's playing Detroit tonight. Dennis Leonard against Jack Morris. Chicago at Milwaukee, it'll be Lamp and Slayton. Minnesota and New York, Darrell Jackson and Rudy May. Baltimore's out in Seattle, Jim Palmer against Glenn Abbott. And Boston at California, Dennis Eckersley works against Jeff Zahn. One game played this afternoon in the National League. The Padres playing the Cubs at Wrigley Field in Chicago. Now, in the Cub 3rd inning, after Tim Lawler had intentionally walked Bobby Bonds to load the bases, he walks Leon Durham. And that forces in the first run of the ball game. Let's move the action now to the 5th. The Chicago 5th. Henderson on 3rd, Tabler on 2nd. Bill Buckner bats against a drawn-in infield, hits it past the first baseman's glove. Both runners score, and Buckner will go head first into 2nd. Slide, Billy, slide. He's in there. The next batter, Leon Durham, comes through. Base hit, single to left. Buckner holds up between 3rd and home. The throw is going to 2nd. While Durham is looking back to 1st, Buckner sneaks home. 4-0 Cubs. And then it's the Padres' turn. The action finds Gene Richards at 1st. Salazar at the plate. Drives a ball into the left field corner. Richard comes around to score. It is a 4-1 ball game. And then finally in the Padres' ninth, after Tidrow had walked 2 batters, the tying run comes to play. Rupert Jones, facing Willie Hernandez, hits a gapper to right center. 2 runs score. It makes the score 4-3. But the rally fell short. The Cubs hung on to win it. Final score, 4-3. Elsewhere, we have San Francisco playing the Cardinals tonight. Tom Griffin against John Martin. L.A. out in Pittsburgh, Dave Goltz working against ageless Louis Tiant, still looking for his first win. Cincinnati at Montreal, Mike Lacoste and Scott Sanderson. Houston at New York. And finally, our ball game. Phil Niekro, 5-4 against Mark Davis. No record, just up from Oklahoma City, where he was 5-2. And Manny Trio, who hit that dramatic home run in the 13th inning, will be the guest next as the Phillies Today continues after this break.
If you think you have a transmission problem, bring it into Cottman. We'll road test your car for free, and then you'll know for sure. Cottman, and you thought we just fixed transmissions.
Woolco presents the ultimate value in 10-speed bicycles. It's a 26-inch 10-speed in men's or ladies' styles. It has a 10-speed derailleur gearing system with stem-mounted shift levers, dual hand brakes, racing-style saddle, racing handlebars, and safety reflector pedals. Now at Woolco.
We want to be. Woolco wants to be your favorite store. We want to be. Woolco wants to be your favorite store.
Well, Manny Trio sent everybody home happy last night with his home run in the 13th inning. But Manny Trio didn't appear to be too happy just before he hit that home run. He received a brushback pitch, stepped in, and walloped one out. And he's Rich Ashburn's guest right now. Rich?
Okay, Bob, thank you very much. And, of course, Manny did win the ball game last night with that 2-run home run in the 13th inning. And Bob Bradley, Manny was talking about the brushback pitch just before that. And I know that Al Raboski was quoted as saying that it was a pitch that just got away from him. He was just trying to come in. I was surprised you got out of the way of the pitch. It almost hit you, didn't it?
I did too, but I mean, they were pitching me all inside all night, so I got to jump about 3 times. And I mean, I kind of expect those kind of pitches because it really was 0-2, and I know a lot of pitchers love to waste the pitch, but I never expected that close either.
Looks like pitchers in the league pitch you and Gary Matthews a lot alike. A lot of hard stuff inside. And yet I can remember when you were playing for the Cubs against the Phillies, seems like every time we went in on you, you hurt us. I mean, hurt us with a long ball.
Well, it's one thing that I realize. I mean, I'm not a kind of power hitter, and I really had to expect those kind of pitches. It's just like on a hit-and-run ball. I know how to hit it, trying to hit it at least to shortstop, because they think I'm a right field hitter and a skinny guy. I mean, I'm not going to have that kind of power. But like I said, they were pitching me all night, inside all night, and my mind was that, I mean, he threw it pretty hard, and I think they're going to come inside on me again. So I was quick at that time. And I think I still got some power left of me.
Of course, the big play last night was a double play in the 9th inning that Larry Bowe and Dallas Green wound up getting thrown out of the game. Now, Manny wasn't really involved in that play. Manny, here it is right now. You can see it on the monitor. You see Bowe coming towards the bag. It looked like he was a little mixed up with his footwork. Now, you're standing right there. You had as good a look as anybody. Did he hit it or not?
Well, to tell you the truth, I mean, a lot of people think it is...
You're doing an awful lot of stammering here now.
I believe he missed the back, but it's only happened once out of 100 times when I play like that. I used to double play, but the big question, I think, is maybe a lot of people don't realize is the angle that Larry Bowe was, because it's a different way when I throw the ball to him. He can just slap the feet and never touch the back. But in that kind of position, his angle, it was right, straight with the back. So he really got to come and he had to really step on the bat to throw the ball, just because of the angles. But I mean, that's why the big argument was, I guess.
Manny Trio, my guest. I'm Rich Ashburn. We'll be back in a moment.
It's the coolest sale under the sun. It's Langhorne Ski Shop's summer ski sale, up to 60% off. Located on Route 1 in Langhorne. Sale ends August 29th.
When you're hot and parched, cola won't do. When you're dry as a bone, lemon lime's not for you. You need a drink, the color of sun, with real orange juice. Frank's is the one. Color your thirst, Frank's orange. Color your thirst, Frank's orange.
Is it Frank's? Thanks.
With Manny Trio here, and Manny talking about plays around second base, everybody knows that second baseman once in a while will fudge a little bit or cheat a little bit on the play. Do you do it? Do you intentionally ever do it when you know that you have to hurry a play?
Well, I think I've probably been doing that I remember probably twice, because I mean, it's good. I think I have a pretty good round, and I don't realize that I might have to cheat a lot. But I think the best way to cheat is if you stand on the back, let the umpire see you feet right on the back, and then you can go. I mean, he won't look for nothing else. That's the only way to cheat. If he didn't see your feet right on the back, I mean, he either can call you safe. But I've been cheating quite a few times, not too much.
Who's the one guy you don't want to see coming in to break up a double play in the league against you? Who's the guy that knocks you into left field occasionally?
Well, to tell you the truth, I don't think...
Most of them are in the Phillies, I think. Gary Matthews, Lonnie Smith, nobody does it better than them.
I don't does it better than I do. No, I think, well, when Gary knocked me down, I was off of the back already. But to tell you the truth, I think Big Malo is one of them, but I think he never get close to me. I never get
That's when
chance.
you cheat.
I got the cheat on that. And Gary Carter is the one, too, though. I don't like to see those guys. But I don't mind when the guy tried to knock me down with a clean slide, but when the guy comes with a high spike, I really get mad.
Manny, have a good game tonight. Thanks for visiting with us.
All right, thank you, Art.
Okay, Bob, Manny Trio looks like he's got his stroke back, playing great baseball again this second half. Good night for baseball, good crowd on hand.
One quick question before we let you go.
Go ahead.
Rich, with the manager suspended as Dallas is at this present time, does he have any input at all into the ball club during that period of suspension?
Oh, certainly he does. He will be... he won't be in the dugout. He won't be on the field, of course, but he'll be back there somewhere where he can make certain decisions. Every manager does it, and I think everybody knows they do it. They don't just sit back in the clubhouse and listen or watch the ball game, believe me.
All right. Thank you very much, Rich. All right, coming up next, we're going to talk a little bit about tonight's lineup, but first, let's take a moment for our Pabst Blue Ribbon Award winner from last night's Phillies game. I'm tossing several names around, certainly Mike Schmidt, Manny Trio, but you know, I'm going to pick Tug McGraw. Those 4 perfect innings of baseball kept the Phillies in the ball game, and it was an inspiration. So in his name, Pabst will be awarding $100 to the American Cancer Society. Congratulations, the Tugger, and thanks again to Pabst.
And the losers buy the beer. Well, it ain't gonna be us.
But a bunch of guys really go at it this hard just for a beer. Well, consider it's not Michelob Light with 134 calories, but Extra Light with only 70. So it's much less filling, much more refreshing. Still, would good friends play this hard just for a beer?
Beer? What beer? We were playing for money.
Extra Light beer from Pabst. A refreshing change in beer.
My Maxie, he was so concerned about how he looked in glasses. But I said, it's not only how you look, but how well you see. So when he wanted contact lenses, I told him he should go to State Optical Contact Lens Center. Their doctors of optometry examined his eyes and fitted him with quality contact lenses and glasses at a price that we could afford. Now Maxie's happy. And when Maxie's happy, I'm happy. State Optical Contact Lens Center for all your eye care needs.
car commercials try to sell automobiles with scenes like these. Subaru thought you'd like to see how a Subaru works on the roads of Pennsylvania. Visit your nearest Subaru dealer and test drive the Subaru that will best do your job for you. Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way.
Test drive the exciting 1981 Subaru at the Delaware Valley dealer nearest you. Promotional consideration furnished by Seiko, the world leader in combining timekeeping and fashion. Available at K Jewelers, the Diamond People. Travel arrangements for WPHL TV are made by Mainline Travel of Ballackinwood. For your next travel arrangements, call 839-6636.
I know we're still feeling the shock waves from last night's rhubarb and today's suspension of Dallas Green, but not all is serious in baseball. We'd like to remind you of how much fun there is in the game and how funny the game can be. Take a look at this. Just for laughs, folks. All right, time to take a look at tonight's lineup. Atlanta Braves, visiting Braves, going to have Rufino Linares in left field instead of Brett Butler tonight. Claudell Washington in right field. Bob Horner plays third base and bats third. Dale Murphy in center field in the cleanup spot. Chris Chambliss at first base, then Glenn Hubbard at second base, Bruce Benedek catching, Rafael Ramirez at shortstop, and your starting pitcher tonight, the ageless Phil Niekro, who will be baffling him with that knuckleball. For the Phillies, Pete Rose leads off. Bake McBride bats second. Matthews in the number 3 spot. Schmidt in cleanup. Moreland stays in the lineup, batting 5th. Maddox 6th. Trio 7th. Larry Boa batting 8th. And the starting pitcher, rookie Mark Davis. We'll see you following the ball game with the highlights of this one and a final rundown of the Major League scoreboard. Stay tuned for baseball now. The Phillies and the Atlanta Braves.
This has been Phillies Today with Bob Bradley. This portion brought to you in part by Triple Cola. Try the new 2-liter plastic bottle for just 89 cents and pocket the difference. By your Delaware Valley Subaru dealers. Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way. By Pabst, give that man a blue ribbon. By State Optical Contact Lens Center, they're with the best team in sight.
Natural things are right for you.
Fresh squeezed orange flavor.
They're part of how you live.
Just picked black cherry goodness.
Getting back to bed.
Ginger ale with real ginger snap.
Knowing how to give. Frank's flavors, they taste so
Frank
fresh.
starts with real fruit.
Pure and simple, not like the
Plump and
rest.
sweet and orchard fresh.
Frank's flavors, they taste so
And squeezes out the
fresh.
natural goodness.
Natural born.
Try Frank's natural born flavor.
WPHL TV, Channel 17, Philadelphia, your world champion Phillies station. This portion is brought to you in part by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. By your local Toyota dealer, where now's the time to cook up a deal. By Geno's, you'll go for the food. By Gerard, the bank that offers the multipliers. Investment alternatives for all savers. By Ford, for the best deal in town, see your local Ford dealer. By Pep Boys. Pep Boys is bigger and better than ever. By United, official airline of the Phillies. By New Getty Leaded Regular. At Getty, we want you to get the most out of your car. And by the Pennsylvania Lottery.
Hi, everybody from Veterans Stadium. Welcome to Phillies baseball. Tonight, the Phils and the Atlanta Braves. I'm Harry Callis along with Rich Ashburn. Tim McCarver and Andy Musser will be along a little later. All kinds of excitement here last night. The Phillies winning a thrilling game in 13 innings, 7-5. And tonight, it'll be interesting to see young Mark Davis going against Phil Niekro. Davis is actually young enough to be Phil's son. Phil had 2 years of pro ball under his belt when Mark was born.
I think that's really a credit to both of them. One, that he's so good he can stay around at his age, and one that's so good that he's here at his age. Just visited Harry with Mark Davis, talking to him about the last 10 minutes, and he's not at all nervous, which surprised me. Now, he's pitched here before. He pitched here some last year, but you'd think he was out there getting ready to pitch a beer keg game.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how he fares. And we'll be back to check the starting lineups for tonight's game right after these words.
Listen up, Philly fans. Here comes Geno's Follow the Phillies sweepstakes. Each month, we're giving away 2 weekend trips for 2 to Phillies away games. There's a new contest every month, and every time you enter, you're eligible for our grand prize drawing. You could win an exciting 1982 Ford EXP, a 2-week trip to Hawaii, or a Phillies Fanatic cycle. Get your entry blank at participating Geno's or write Channel 17. Enter Geno's Follow the Phillies sweepstakes. Travel arrangements by Haddon Travel.
Come on, son, it's getting late.
Oh, right. It's the last week of your Toyota dealer's cook-up-a-deal days, so you got to cook up a deal now. Come on! He's got sales incentives from Toyota to move out a whole herd of trucks. By the end of this month, let's go! Go! These aren't ordinary trucks. They're America's best-selling small trucks. Long beds, standard beds, 4x4s, even diesels. Toyota's prices may never be lower. See your Toyota dealer!
Don't horse around, son.
From Howard Fast's best-selling paperback novel, The Immigrants, comes the most powerful romantic adventure of the television year. Out of the ashes of a San Francisco earthquake, Mama! The roughneck son of an Italian fisherman built an empire, then fought to keep it.
I love you. And you knew it.
The Immigrants, Wednesday night at 8 on Channel 17.
Back at Veterans Stadium, here are the starting lineups for tonight's game. First of all, for the visiting Atlanta Braves, Rufino Linares will lead off in left field. Claudell Washington, right fielder, bats second. Bob Horner at third base will hit third. Dale Murphy, center fielder, bats fourth. Chris Chambliss at first base, hitting fifth. Glenn Hubbard, the second baseman, bats sixth. Bruce Benedict will catch and hit seventh. Rafael Ramirez at shortstop, batting eighth. And batting ninth and pitching will be Phil Niekro. Knuckles has won 5 and lost 4 this year. For the Phillies, Pete Rose to lead off at first base. Bake McBride in right field bats second. Gary Matthews, left fielder, hitting third. Mike Schmidt at third base will bat fourth. Keith Moreland, catcher, hitting fifth. Gary Maddox, center field, bats sixth. Manny Trio at second base will hit seventh. Larry Boa, the shortstop, bats eighth. And batting ninth and pitching, young 20-year-old left-hander Mark Davis. Davis making his first appearance this year. He was 5-2 at Oklahoma City. This telecast is presented under rights granted by the Phillies solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Philadelphia Phillies is prohibited. The announcers on this telecast are employed by WPHL-TV. Tim McCarver, an employee of the Phillies. And for every Phillies home run hit in tonight's game, Geno's is happy to contribute $100 to the police athletic leagues of the greater Delaware Valley and $500 for every grand slam. Incidentally, tomorrow night, it'll be Police Athletic League night here at Veterans Stadium. And at 6:45, there will be a celebrity softball game right before the game tomorrow night, involving a lot of the area celebrities. Larry Kane, Maury Povich, Don Tollefson will all be on hand, so it should be lots of fun, and plan to come out early. Now the Phillies and the Atlanta Braves. Phillies coming into this game having won 4 in a row after suffering their longest losing streak of the year. It's been a up and down second half for the Phils. But the Phillies sweeping Houston and winning a thrilling game here last night. Phillies are currently 2.5 games behind St. Louis, leading National League East. There's Bobby Cox, the Atlanta Braves manager, and he has his club in first place over second place Los Angeles by a half a game. It's tight, though. Cincinnati and Houston are a game back, and San Francisco a game and a half back. And San Diego lost again today at Chicago, so they are 6.5 back.
In fact, San Diego will finish last in both halves. And I guess, well, that's right. The Phillies do not see any of the West Coast clubs anymore. And the only Western Division teams will be Houston, Atlanta, and Cincinnati.
There you see the umpires. Nick Colosi will have the balls and strikes. Steve Fields at first, Eric Gregg at second, and Frank Pulley at third. Of course, that was another episode at last night's game, a post-game hassle. Channel 3 and the umpires resulted in some equipment breakage.
Dallas Green was talking about that before the ball game. He feels he was partly responsible for what happened after the ball game. I guess maybe he was, in that he wasn't involved in the big rhubarb on the field. Of course, there's Steve Fields, and I don't know if you caught our pregame show with Manny Trio, but Manny Trio says Steve Fields called the play right.
Well, Manny certainly endeared himself, I guess, to that man and not to Larry.
Well, Manny went on to make another point, Harry, that Steve Fields called the play right, according to Trio, and but he said the umpires never call that play. You know, if you're near the bag or go across the bag, usually they'll give you the out. You know, if Boa did indeed miss it, he certainly didn't miss it intentionally. But everybody around here seemed to be very quick to criticize the umpire. And their first job is to get the play right.
Well, the lineup cards are just now being handed out at home plate. Tomorrow night, Dick Ruthven goes against Gaylord Perry. Final game of this series at homestand. Then the Phillies are in Houston's Astrodome and Atlanta for a 7-game road trip. All of the games will be televised here on Channel 17. Friday night, twilight doubleheader Saturday night, Sunday night game, and then 3 from Atlanta. The Atlanta Braves had a great second half last year, so they are very pleased with this split season concept. And they're off to a good start this year.
Well, I think the Braves showed a lot of fight in last night's game. After Schmidt's home run, you would have thought that would have taken a little of the steam out of them, but they came back, not only tied in the ninth, but went ahead. It's a good young ball club Bobby Cox has. He has a nice blend of young people and some veterans there.
Over the years, the fellow that's pitching against the Phillies tonight, Phil Niekro, has really been tough on the Phils, but recently the Phillies have had his number. This is his first outing against the Phillies this year. Last year, Phillies beat him twice, and he's last beaten the ball club about 2 years ago on August 20th, 1979. Now we're standing as John Bauer will be singing tonight's national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red flares of bombs bursting in air gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
John Bauer singing our national anthem, getting the praise of Philly Fanatic for his efforts. Game 2 of the series with the Atlanta Braves. And the Phillies taking the field behind young 20-year-old Mark Davis. Davis comes out of Livermore, California, 6'3", 175-pounder. Had just a superb year last year when he was the Eastern League Player of the Year. Led the league in wins, 19-6. Strikeouts in games and shutouts, just about everything. Had arm problems earlier this year. That's Pete Rose at first base. Second baseman Manny Trio. And at shortstop Larry Boa. Mike Schmidt at third. In the outfield, Gary Matthews left field. Gary Maddox in center. And the right fielder is Bake McBride. Keith Moreland doing the catching. And on the mound is Mark Davis. Davis basically fastball, curveball, two fine pitches. He was 5-2 at Oklahoma City. He struck out quite a few at Okie City. He also walked quite a few. In 63 innings, he had 56 strikeouts, but he had 47 walks. Uncharacteristic of him in his first 2 years of professional ball. He had good strikeout walk ratio.
Of course, he's had some arm problems. He actually injured himself this spring. I think he was trying to overthrow too early, trying to make an impression on the Phillies front office, trying to make the club, and he hurt his arm. But he's supposed to be 100% now.
Rufino Linares to lead off for the Atlanta Braves. He's batting .253. Bobby Dews coaches at third for Atlanta. Tommy Aaron at first. One and nothing to Linares. Followed by Claudell Washington and then Bob Horner. It's 2-0. He's high with it, 3-0. Davis has appeared in 2 previous major league games. 2-1. 1 relief outing, 1 start at Montreal. He has no record. He's pitched 7 innings. 4 hits, 2 earned runs. Struck out 5, walked 5. Full count to Linares. Right back through the middle, a base hit for Rufino Linares. So he's a leadoff base runner, and that'll bring on Claudell Washington.
That's a pretty tough first hit. Bullet right back through the middle, took Davis's hat off. Got his attention anyway, I suppose.
Linares at first base, nobody out. 1-0 to Claudell Washington, a changeup. It's 2-0. So Davis off to a little bit of a shaky start, control-wise. Just missed.
3-0 on the first 2 batters. Been mostly wild high.
Three and 1 to Claudell Washington. Big cut, no contact, full count. Runner breaking ball misses, and the Braves have their first 2 men on base. So a base hit and a walk, and that'll bring on Bob Horner. Horner hitting .279 with 7 homers. He's knocked in 25.
Wonder about the wisdom of calling a 3-2 breaking ball for a guy that's the first breaking ball he had thrown for a guy that's struggling with his control. He just threw a 3-1 fastball right by him.
Yeah, I wonder about that.
That's, I think, overthinking.
They figured Washington would chase that pitch.
That's not Dave Parker up there.
No.
Parker might have gone after. He's a very aggressive hitter.
1 strike to Bob Horner. Linares at second base, Washington at first base, and nobody out in the top of the first. Misses with a breaking ball, 1-1. High with a fastball. 2-1 to Horner. Herm Starrett and Bobby Wine, they are going to be running the ball club in the absence of Dallas Green. It's 2-2.
Horner trying to punch a ball to the opposite field to move the runners. Bob ordinarily doesn't get involved in those kind of swings.
He probably does you a break when he does that.
I think you're right.
Still 2-2 to Bob Horner.
Horner swung at that pitch almost out of the catcher's mitt. He was going to let the breaking ball go, saw it coming in towards the plate and had a real late swing.
Two and two to Horner. 2 men on base, nobody out. We're in the top of the first. Breaking ball in the dirt, and it's a full count. Well, if you're Bobby Cox, do you send the runners?
Well, I think you would. 9 cases out of 10. You can avoid the double play, but you can also hit into a triple play.
Runners are holding. It's high, ball 4, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. So a shaky start for the 20-year-old Mark Davis. Bases jammed, nobody out. Dale Murphy will be the batter. Herm Starrett coming out.
Well, Herm will try to get him settled down a little bit. He's throwing well. He's not getting it over. Phillies would love to trade a double play ball for a run here. Stay out of the big inning.
Bases loaded, nobody out. Top of the first. Single and a pair of walks. Murphy hitting .256, 7 homers. He's knocked in 34 runs. High with a fastball. Fouls it straight back, a ball and a strike. Mark Davis in a lot of trouble here in the first inning. Breaking ball got on the inside corner for a called strike.
It was a good one. He got it over. It's the first one he's thrown for a strike. He threw one that was swung at that was a ball, but that was a good pitch.
Missed with a breaking ball. It's 2-2.
You wonder how a hitter could take that pitch. That was just off the plate.
Struck him out with a fastball. Big strikeout for Mark Davis. 1 down.
High riding fastball, and he just threw it right by Murphy.
Here's Chris Chambliss, the first baseman. He's batting .281. Bases still loaded. 1 down. He's high with a fastball. Smack to right field. Fair ball, extra bases. Linares scores. Washington will score. Horner heading for third base. He'll hold there, and the Braves lead it 2-0 on a bases loaded double by Chris Chambliss.
Well, Chambliss hit the fastball, and he really ripped it. He must have been looking for it because he got around on it nicely. I mean, he hit a rope into that right field corner. That fella is a good hitter. Good hitter.
Yeah, he is. He's a good ball player. Handles himself well around first base. Chambliss at second. Bob Horner at third with 1 out. Phillies will bring the infield up for Glenn Hubbard. 1-0 to Hubbard. Dickie Knowles starting to throw in the Phillies bullpen. Missed with a breaking ball, 2-0. Three and 0 to Glenn Hubbard. Walked him on 4 pitches. Third walk given up by Davis here in the first inning. Bases reloaded for the Braves for Bruce Benedict, the catcher. Batting .272. One strike to Benedict. Breaking ball, didn't miss by much. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bases loaded, 1 down, 2 runs in. Long drive. This may be a grand slam, and it is a grand slam home run for Bruce Benedict, and the Braves lead it 6-0.
Oh, that's a rough start. And the 3 walks, of course, really hurt him. They all scored. Fastball, this was right out over the plate a little bit.
So it has been a rough 81 Major League debut for Davis. 6 runs are in. 1 strike to Rafael Ramirez. Nothing in 2 to Rafael Ramirez, batting at .208. Get up the middle to Manny Trio. Ramirez is out. That's 2 down. That'll bring on the pitcher Phil Niekro as the Braves have batted around here in the first. Niekro batting .065. Better hitter than that. Lifetime he's a .170 hitter. One and nothing to Niekro. He pops it up down the third base side foul. Mike Schmidt is there. And the Braves are retired in the first, but they bat around, scoring 6 runs in the inning. 3 hits. No Philly errors, none left. After 1/2, Atlanta 6, Phillies coming to bat.
Didn't have to happen, Harold.
I know.
You should have taken better care.
I know.
Thousands of cars meet their fate before their time. That's why there's Gulf Pride motor oil. An oil so tough, it was tested over 1 million miles without a single engine failure.
Next time I'll take better care.
Protect your engine with Gulf Pride, the tough oil. It could save you a lot of grief.
Wrist buds for the guys who make our engines purr like a kitten and roar like a lion.
Wrist buds for you, for all you do. The king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
It's important to me to have convenience, and George machines are simply everywhere.
Gerard Bank.
Well, we move to the bottom half of the first inning. That is Dale Hubbard, or rather Dale Murphy, the center fielder. There's the first baseman, Chris Chambliss. That's Glenn Hubbard, second baseman. Rafael Ramirez, shortstop. And Bob Horner at third. In the outfield, Rufino Linares in left field. Right fielder is Claudel Washington. Bruce Benedict catching, and Phil Niekro, 42 years young, the pitcher. Pete Rose, first one to face him, batting .329. Pete's third in the league in hitting. Bill Madlock has opened a pretty decent gap in hitting, batting .340. Andre Dawson, .332, and Rose, .329. One strike to Rose. Taps the knuckleball to shortstop, and Ramirez throws out Rose. It was a check swing. There's one down. And I'll bring on Bake McBride. Bake batting at .298. Now, the Cincinnati Reds are one of baseball's most exciting teams, and the Phillies have a great giveaway at them for you youngsters when the Reds come to town Saturday night, September 5th. All youngsters 14 or under will receive an official Phillies team jersey modeled after the Phillies home jersey. It has Mike Schmidt's number 20 on the front. Shirt compliments of the Phils and Gulf Oil. Game time on Team Jersey Night, 7:05. Get your tickets now. 1-0 to Bake McBride. Who's older, Niekro or Gaylord Perry? I think Niekro is. No, Gaylord is. Two and two to Bake McBride with one down. Gaylord Perry will be pitching tomorrow night against Dick Ruthven. That's looped down the left field line, but Linares is there. He makes the grab, and McBride is out, two down. Here's Gary Matthews. He's hitting .295. 2 outs, no base runners. Bottom of the first. Atlanta scored 6 in the top half. Big blow, a grand slam homer by catcher Bruce Benedict. 1-0 to Matthews. Beats one down the third base side, foul. Ball and a strike to Gary. Smack just fair down the left field line. It caroms right toward Linares. Here's the throw, and Matthews will have to hold at first base. Linares got on that ball in a hurry. Matthews might gamble in different circumstances, but down 6-0. He wisely held up at first base.
Yeah, that's right. The ball came right out to Linares, and he has a good arm. After he rifled one to Hubbard here, that it just ate Hubbard up, ate him alive.
And that'll bring on Mike Schmidt, hitting .298. Leads the league in homers with 21. Tied for the league lead in runs batted in, 59. Leads the league in runs scored with 50. And in slugging percentage. One and nothing to Schmidt. Phillies down 6-0, but we're only in the first inning. A lot of innings to get back into this thing. Ball and a strike to Mike. Gary Matthews, first base, 2 outs. He knuckles that ball towards second base. Hubbard's going to have to hurry. No play. An infield single for Mike Schmidt. That might be the shortest single Schmidt has ever had outside of a bunt base hit.
Well, Hubbard was playing Schmidt over there behind second base, so he had a long run. He hit it right off the end of his bat. See, Hubbard coming into your picture really had no chance at all to get Schmidt, as he was almost to the bag when Hubbard had the ball.
There's Keith Moreland. He's hitting .256 with 5 homers. He's knocked in 20 runs. Knuckleball gets away, and the runners are moving up. Pass ball on Bruce Benedict.
This was one of those high knucklers that when they get up high like that, they really jump around. You saw it go off the end of the catcher's mitt. Pass ball.
Pass ball on Benedict. Matthews at third. Schmidt at second with 2 outs. Ball and no strikes to Moreland. He waves and misses at that knuckleball. Ground ball in the hole. Backhanded Ramirez. Long throw. Got him on a fine play by Rafael Ramirez. And the Phillies are retired in the first. Good stretch by Chambliss. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. Phils leave 2 after 1. 6-0 Atlanta.
Expand your Phillies wardrobe with this team jersey. Compliments of the Phillies and golf oil. Pick up the gift September 5th, right before the Phillies-Reds game.
Outfield straight away with Jones especially deep. Bases loaded. 2 out. Full count. Bottom of the 9th. The pitcher winds. Delivers. It's a long fly ball. Here's Jones. Jones is back.
Good evening. It's time for the live drawing of the daily number.
Play the daily number. Pennsylvania's favorite sport.
What puts Fava Olympian a jump ahead? Stability and lightness and fun. Fava Olympian for boys and girls, guys and gals. Now a special $13 at Fava. An incredible price for all that comfort and support. Just $13 for easygoing man-made suede Olympian. $13 for high-performance shock-absorbing Olympians in nylon and suede. Fava Olympian for whatever you're up to.
Let's pause here for station identification on the Phillies television network.
WPHL TV, Channel 17, Philadelphia.
Six 0 Atlanta, the top of the order coming up for the Braves. Rufino Linares will lead off. He singled and scored a run his first time up. Davis high with it, 1-0. 2-0. Walks hurt Mark in the first inning. He walked 3. Linares fouls it out of play. 2 balls and a strike to him. Three and 1. He walked him. Walk number 4 given up by Davis. And that'll bring on Claudell Washington. He walked his first time up. So a shaky start for the young left-hander. And again, Dickie Knowles is going to get up in the Phillies bullpen. 1 strike to Washington. Davis in front of Washington, 0-2. Beats the breaking ball foul. Still 2 strikes to Claudell Washington. Misses with a breaking ball, 1-2. We're in the second. 6-0 Braves lead. Runner breaking. Base hit right field. Linares will end up at third base, and the Braves have runners at first and third and nobody out. That'll bring on Bob Horner. Now Herm Starrett is coming out of the Phillies dugout. He's made the way to the bullpen. Mark Davis will be taken out after pitching 1+ innings. And young Mark getting roughed up. It's happened to a lot of youngsters before, Mark, so don't get your dauber down. Pitching change for the Phils. We're in the second. It's 6-0 Braves. We'll be back after this brief pause.
So you say you like fireworks?
Well, I love fireworks. They have beautiful colors. Oh, I like them because they go boom, a big sound in the air, like gun goes off. A bang! All kinds of colors. Red, blue, green. Here at Veterans Stadium.
The parachuting, Golden Knights, and fireworks on Labor Day.
I come down to Veterans Stadium and watch the great fireworks.
The automobile business has become a numbers game. All you hear from car manufacturers these days are gas mileage claims. But the fact is, you won't get good gas mileage unless you take care of your car, drive sensibly, and use a quality gasoline. That's why you should use Getty. Getty helps you get the proper performance out of your new car, your old car, any car at all. At Getty, we want you to get the most out of your car.
Dickie Knowles, the new Phillies pitcher, coming on for Mark Davis. Knowles appearing in his 5th game since being called up from Oklahoma City. No wins, no losses, an ERA of 8.8 2/3 innings he's pitched, given up 12 hits, 8 runs. He has walked 4 and struck out 4.
Dickie did a very fine job his last time out against Houston. Pitched 4 shutout innings of middle relief. It's what the Phillies need now. They need about 7 shutout innings of relief.
Atlanta runners first and third, nobody out. Braves lead 6-0, and here's Bob Horner. One strike to Horner. That's Linares at third base. Washington at first. And Knowles in front of Horner, 0-2. Struck him out. Good breaking ball. So Knowles comes in and gets a strikeout, and then he'll bring on Dale Murphy.
I tried a slider that caught Horner. Well, it froze him. It was right through there, too.
Started the breaking ball out at him. Really locked him. 1-0 to Dale Murphy. Fouled out of play, a ball and a strike to him. Two and one. That is beaten on the ground to third. Schmidt, a fine play to get Murphy coming in to score Linares. And it's a 7-0 ball game. Give Murphy a run batted in, but a great play by Schmidt on the high topper.
Schmidt made it the only way he could. High bouncing ball. He had to charge, bare hand, put something on an accurate throw. It's exactly what he did. Out by the long stride.
Two down, Washington at second base. It'll bring on Chris Chambliss, who doubled to drive in a pair his first time up. 1-0 to Chambliss. Two 2-0 to him. It's Washington at second with 2 outs. Three 3-0. Three and 1 to Chris Chambliss. And he walks him. First walk given up by Knowles. That'll bring on Glenn Hubbard, the second baseman. He walked his first time up. Braves with 2 men on base, 2 outs, a run in, leading 7-0. One strike to Hubbard. He pops in the air down the right field foul line. Bake McBride, a long run, makes the catch in foul ground. For the Braves, they get a run on 1 hit. No errors, 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the second. Atlanta 7, Phillies 0.
Hey, how about a Coke? And how would you like a chance to win $1,000 from your Coca-Cola bottler? Just look for the caps on bottles of Coke with a bright red one. Under each cap is a word or a cash number. A number means you're an instant winner of up to $100. Find the 4 words that spell Coke, the real thing, and you win $1,000. So look for the caps with the bright red one. Who knows, the next time you enjoy an ice-cold bottle of the real thing, you could be a big cash winner.
Who could forget the 1980 World Series? What a thrill for the Phillies, and what a thrill for me. Now, Cotman gears up for the World Series, and you and a guest have a chance to win an all-expense-paid trip to the 1981 World Series. Stop by any participating Cottonman Transmission Center and fill out an entry blank. The lucky winners fly to the series as a guest of Cottonman and Channel 17. Maybe you'll go to California, Texas, Kansas City, or Seattle.
You could win 2 Phillies tickets and this Toyota Phillies Mobile from Channel 17. Just send a card with your name, address, and phone number to Phillies Mobile, Box 11746, Philadelphia 19101.
Gary Maddox will lead off for the Phillies here in the bottom of the second. And Manny Trio and Larry Boa to face Phil Niekro. Maddox batting .277. Maddox fouls off the knuckleball. 1 strike to him. Ball and a strike. Hit on the ground to Ramirez, the shortstop. Low throw dug out by Chambliss. 1 down. Here's Manny Trio. Who'd the Braves give up to get Chambliss? He's been a good player for him. Came from Toronto with Luis Gomez.
About Barry Bonnell?
Barry Bonnell, Pat Rocket, and Joey McLaughlin. One strike to Trio. Manny batting .298. Make that .289. He hits it a long ways to left field. Linares back near the fence. Trio's out on a deep fly ball, 2 down. And he is a good knuckleball hitter. Gave that one a long ride, but caught by Linares. Here's Larry Boa. Batting .267. We're in the bottom of the second. It's 7-0 Atlanta. One strike to Boa. Ball on a strike. Niekro in front of Larry. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Two and two. He hits the knuckleball well to right, but Washington is there, makes the catch. Phillies down in order in the second. No runs, hits or errors, and none left. Andy Musser will be coming along at the end of 2 at 7-0 Braves. Now a word from Getty, your choice for BVP, better vehicle performance.
If you've shopped for a new car lately, you may be a little surprised at what you have to spend. So you might decide to take better care of your present car to make sure it lasts. That's why you should use a quality gasoline at Motor Oil like Getty. Getty helps your car run smoothly mile after mile. At Getty, we want you to get the most out of your car.
Expand your Phillies wardrobe with this team jersey. Compliments of the Phillies and golf oil. Pick up the gift September 5th, right before the Phillies-Reds game.
Top of the third inning. Atlanta with 6 runs in the first on a bases-loaded double by Chambliss, a grand slam home run by Bruce Benedict. They added another run in the second inning. That's how we stand 7-0. And Andy Mutzer with us. Andy?
Okay, Rich, and here's that man, Benedict. Well, he won't do it this time, will he? Leading off the inning. Benedict with his first career grand slam. It was a funny shot, too, because it looked like a home run off the bat, and then it just did get out of here. Benedict now facing Dickie Knowles. And a called strike. Dickie in his second inning of work. Benedict will be followed by Ramirez and Niekro. One ball, 2 strikes on Benedict, the Braves representative at the All-Star game this year. And he carries a .276 average. He went around. So Benedict is out of there. I don't know what he's complaining about. That looked like a strike to me.
Yeah, he didn't want to swing, but he did. You can see the bat went almost all the way around. Tried to hold it, but he couldn't.
Niekro takes his spot in the on-deck circle as Ramirez comes up. That's the second strikeout for Knowles. Ramirez hit a humpback liner to Manny Trio, and now he spanks one on the ground toward Manny. And that is out number 2 of the inning. Shortstop retired on 1 pitch. And Niekro will bat. Niekro fouled out to Schmidt in his first try. In his long career, Niekro has 6 home runs and 97 runs batted in. Remember when Bobby Cox got the managerial job, Niekro was actually a candidate for the job. In fact, he applied for it. He went in to see Turner about it. One hopper back to Trio. High to first, but Rose comes down on the bag, and Dickie Knowles has an easy 1-2-3 inning. So we're in the middle of the third, but Atlanta is leading 7-0.
When I was in town, I was the #1 hot dog. Now that I'm gone, Phillies Franks are the #1 hot dog around.
You don't have to be a Phillies fan to like Phillies Franks.
Announcing the Midas Challenge.
Midas challenges you to find a better price for an exhaust system. Midas challenges you to shop around and bring a written estimate to us, because we'll match that price or beat it. And you'll be getting a muffler from Midas, the muffler experts. That's the Midas Challenge. So come in today. You'll drive away with a muffler at a price nobody can challenge.
Get the Midas touch. Nobody else has it.
I'm paying my bills with George Bank by phone.
I pay about 26 bills a month with George Bank by phone. That's 26 checks I don't have to write.
I'm paying my newspaper bill with George Bank by phone.
Using George Bank by phone, I would say I save approximately $12 a month.
Next, I'm going to pay my charge cards.
With George Bank by phone, I can just pick up the phone, hit a couple of buttons, and I'm in business.
I can pay anyone with George Bank by phone.
Changing the way people bank.
Hot off the presses and better late than never, the 1981 Phillies yearbook is ready for all you baseball fans, and this year's book contains special features on Steve Carlton's 3,000th strikeout, Pete Rose's record-tying hit, and the 10-year anniversary of the vet. 64 pages in all. The 81 Phillies yearbook is loaded with color pictures and lots of facts and figures. Pick yours up here at the vet for $3, or send your check or money order for $4 to Phillies yearbook, P.O. Box 7575, Philadelphia 19101. Well, Dickie Knowles is going to get a chance to hit here as the Phillies trail at 7-0, and Dickie will be leading off the third inning against Phil Niekro. This is Dickie's third at bat. He has not yet had a hit. And he fouls away a pitch. Last year, Dickie batted .308 for the Phillies.
He'll get his cuts up there. He really takes a rip at the ball. He'll probably get a fastball to hit again here, and if it's anywhere near, he'll have a pretty good cut.
Leading 7-0, I would expect Niekro would go more to that fastball tonight. And he got a fastball, and he drilled it to left field. Run down by Linares. That's about as hard as Dickey can hit the ball. Linares with a fine catch. One away in the Phillies' third. Pete Rose will bat. Pete grounded to shortstop on a kind of a half swing. He wanted to lay off a knuckleball, but he tapped it to Ramirez. Pete carries a 7-game hitting streak. Pete takes ball 1. Phillies with only 2 hits in the game tonight. And one of them was hard hit by Matthews. The other by Schmidt was a kind of a dribbler. 2-0 the count. Only 2 players active are older than Niekro. One's going to pitch here tomorrow night. Gaylord Perry. The other is Jim Cott, who was a winner last night for the Cardinals. Grounded foul. 2-1 the count on Pete. Niekro 42 years of age. Gaylord Perry about 6 months older. And ball 3. 3-1 to Rose. Fastball here.
Definitely. And if it's close, Pete will hack away at it. That was ball 4.
Yeah. Niekro, a great fielder, by the way. He has won 3 straight Gold Gloves. A 6-run first inning has propelled Atlanta to a big start tonight. Grand slam by Bruce Benedict. 3-2 pitch. Hit hard on the ground. Flagged down by Hubbard. Nice play. Got him. That was a good play by Hubbard, who covered some distance to his left to run that ball down.
Well, I tell you, the Braves must know something tonight. They're playing the hitters right. Took a hit away from Moreland earlier, and this one away from Rose. And Rose very seldom hits the ball between first and second, but Hubbard was shading him that way. Of course, Niekro's fastball isn't that fast, and I suppose the hitters will, or the fielders will take that into consideration.
6 straight retired by Niekro. Here's Bake McBride. Hits the ball, a humpback liner right to the shortstop. Ramirez squeezes, and the Braves have retired the Phillies 1-2-3 here in the third. At the end of 3, 7-0 Atlanta.
Excuse me, how come there's nothing on my hamburger? What?
How come there's nothing on my hamburger?
That's what I said.
I know, that's what everybody says.
Oh, well, how come
This is Gino's new home-style hamburger, and there's nothing on it because you put it on. Anything you want, from over 15 fixins at Gino's Fresh Salad Bar.
That's terrific. What?
I said that's terrific.
That's what I said.
That's what everybody says.
Oh.
Gino's new home-style hamburger. Try one. I know what you'll say.
Gino's.
Excuse me.
You'll go for the food.
The year-end Toyota rush is on. The incomparable Toyota Celica. Celica's the car that made driving fun again. And you know there's more horsepower this year, liftback or coupe. They're all winners. And right now is the best time to cook up a deal with your Toyota dealer, because Toyota's prices may never be lower.
Oh, what a feeling to feel. Toyota.
Toyota Home.
Tomorrow night at 8, Stephen Mock stars in the powerful first part of The Immigrants right here on Channel 17, The Great Entertainer. Braves batting in the 4th inning and leading this ball game 7-0 as Mark Davis got off to a rocky start tonight. He was wild, issued 4 walks in the 1+ inning he was out there, and then of course the dramatic grand slam by Benedict brought home 4 of the 7 runs that Atlanta has posted. We're only in the 4th inning, and this is the 3rd at bat for Rufino Linares. He has singled and scored, walked and scored. Saw him make a good play in left field of the ball hit by Dickie Knowles last inning. Two balls and no strikes to Linares, hitting at .257. Last night, Brett Butler played in left field, left-handed batter. 2-1. Claudell Washington on deck. Bob Horner will bat 3rd this inning. Big rip by Linares. He hit a home run against the Phillies in Atlanta earlier this year and hit it to the opposite field. Got jammed and fouled it away. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Linares. He is from the Dominican Republic. Comes up with excellent minor league credentials. He batted .425 at Savannah last year. Then they promoted him to Richmond, and he batted .329 there. And the 2-2 pitch to Linares.
Hit that one right out of the catcher's mitt. Little slider.
And Dickey misses with a pitch. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Knowles has not given up a hit since he came into the ball game. Dickey's recorded 2 strikeouts, issued 1 walk. Linares definitely a free swinger at the plate. That was ball 4. What are you thinking offensively right now if you're Atlanta and you've got a 7-0 lead? What are you trying to do at the plate?
Trying to get 8.
It's not very scientific, Whitey.
Well, you never know. 7 might not be enough. I mean, just because you have a 7-run lead, you don't change your priorities. You try to get men on base and score them.
Punched into right field. It'll fall for a hit. Linares is on for the 3rd straight time. 2 singles and a walk. Hit number 5 for the Braves in the first hit off Dickie Knowles. Well, he hung in there on a lot of pitches and finally got himself a single. That'll bring to the plate left-handed batting Claudell Washington. He has walked and singled so far. Humpback liner over Trio's head into center field for a base hit. Linares is going to try for 3rd. Here's the throw. He's in. Going into 2nd. On the throw is Washington. It'll be a single for Claudell, but the Braves have runners at 2nd and 3rd with nobody out.
Jammed on the ball, but slung it into center field. Good throw here by Maddox, and he had Linares. The throw was way off line.
And on the throw, Washington pulling up at 2nd base. So here's a chance for Bob Horner to bat with 2 runners in scoring position. Horner takes low, ball 1. He has walked and struck out, also scored a run. What a prospect this guy is. I guess maybe it's not fair to call him a prospect anymore, but he's still only 24 years of age. Outside, ball 2. He's already had a 20-game hit streak in his big league career. Last year, he hit 5 homers against the Phillies. And now Dickey can't find the plate. He's 3-0 on Horner.
We'll probably get a green light here, too. The infield is playing back.
Walked him. Second walk given out by Dickey in a bases-loaded situation. The Braves have had any number of these bases-loaded situations tonight.
They've had 3 with nobody out.
Herm Starrett and Bobby Wine, they are together running the ball club. And here's Murphy. Has struck out, grounded to third. He did pick up an RBI.
One thing about having 2 fellas run the ball club, you can't blame one.
Blame each other.
Always blame it on the other guy.
Well, right now, I guess they're both at fault because the pitching hasn't worked out very well, and the Phillies haven't posted any runs either. So they've each got to share a little of the responsibility of the 7-0 Atlanta lead. That's a strike. 2-1 to Murphy, hitting at .254. Bases loaded, nobody out. Low ball 3, and Dickie Knowles in a spot here where he's got to come in with something, or the Braves will get another run anyway. Murphy hits it hard, and Boa can't get it. Coming around to score is Linares. Heading for the plate is Washington. 2 more runs for the Braves, and it's 9-0. Murphy drives in 2 more runs. He's got 3 in the ball game.
Boa almost got the ball. He got a little leather on it, but just slowed the ball. It's like one of those nights that you run into maybe once or twice a season, hopefully.
Chris Chambliss and the Phillies haven't retired him tonight. He has a 2-run double and a walk, has scored a run. And the ball gets beyond Moreland. The runners will each move up a base. Keith couldn't handle the pitch, and that'll be a wild pitch charge to Dickie Knowles. So the Braves again with runners at second and third. Still nobody out.
This was a slider that Moreland got a little leather on, but slithered through that mitt or under the mitt.
Chambliss has batted safely in 11 straight ball games. Has a rip, grounds a ball to Manny Trio. He'll have only 1 play, and the Braves get another run. It's now 10-0 as Chambliss drives in his 3rd run of the ball game. Horner crossing the plate, taking third base on the play was Murphy. And that is the first out of the inning. Now the Phillies are going to bring their infield in as Hubbard comes up. Hubbard, who had 3 singles last night, has walked and fouled out. Strike.
Really don't know why they don't bring the infield in on some of those other occasions. What have you got to lose?
1 ball, 1 strike. Cleveland beat Oakland today 2-0. Afternoon game in the American League. Dickey misses with a fastball inside. 2-1. Hubbard batting at .249. Phillies infield in all the way around. 2-1 pitch. Foul down the right field side, out of play. Mike Crowley is loosening in the Phillies bullpen. Little bit low to Hubbard. That didn't miss by much. 3 balls and 2 strikes. One out in the inning. Murphy at third base. Punch shot, shallow. Is it going to be caught by Manny Trio? Manny recovered and caught that ball. Looked like it was going to be behind him, but he got back, and it wasn't deep enough for Murphy to do anything. That's the second out of the inning. Little infield pop to Trio. Bruce Benedict, who has a grand slam home run in this game, and he also struck out. That was the first career slam for Benedict. Two and nothing. There's a called strike. Benedict from Birmingham, Alabama. Murphy at third base, 2 down. Fastball is high and a 3-1 count. The Braves have 8 hits in the game. There have also been 6 walks. There's a called strike. Little pop. Should be an easy play. Mike Schmidt comes in, squeezes, and the Braves are retired here in the 4th inning. But they've added 2 more runs. They do it on 3 hits, and they leave 1 man on base. We are in the middle of the 4th inning, and the score is 10-0 Atlanta.
We're here to pledge Anheuser-Busch's support of the Muscular Dystrophy Fund Drive, and to prove it, we'll contribute $1 million.
Their $1 million contribution will be based on sales of Budweiser and Natural Light during the month of August.
And if we can muster your support, we'll top that goal. So look for this display at your local store.
And remember, when you buy Budweiser and Natural Light,
you're helping Jerry help his kids.
We really appreciate your precipitation.
I told you twice.
Hey, as a business person, I can really appreciate the creative management at Girard Bank. Bank by Phone saves us time and money, and George Bank by Phone has helped our business grow. We use it to manage all our funds, and we recommend it to all our clients. One of the primary reasons we recommend it is that transfers are made instantaneously, so we always know where our money is. We retain our money in interest-bearing accounts until the minute we write a check. We do it all with George Bank by Phone.
Girard Bank. Well, Joe, are you aware that those brownies you brought in this morning were laced with hashish?
No kidding. I don't feel a thing.
I know.
Are you sure?
Verified by the lab report.
First time in 20 years I felt really good. And it has to be illegal.
Barney Miller, weeknights at 6:30 on Channel 17.
It is 10-0 Atlanta. That was a 3-run inning, top of the inning for the Braves. So we're in the bottom half of the 4th inning. And the Phils have a lot of makeup work to do. And here's Gary Matthews to see if he can get it going. Matthews, one of only 2 Phils to collect a hit in this ball game tonight. The other was Mike Schmidt. He'll also bat here in the 4th. Knuckleball is in for a strike. One ball, 1 strike on Matthews. Two balls and a strike. Well, Jeff Stone, Spartanburg outfielder, now has 114 stolen bases. He has 7 games left to try and break the all-time pro baseball record of 120, set last year by Lodi outfielder Alan Wiggins. Foul away. And Bob Dernier stole his 70th base last night at Oklahoma City. Bob has 3 games left to try and tie or break the American Association record of 77 set last season by Denver's Tim Raines. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Matthews. Slug to straightaway center field. Murphy getting back. And the only mistake that Matthews made was hitting it to the deepest part of the yard. That was almost a 400-foot drive. Out number 1. Here's Schmitty. Did not get a good swing his first time up, but sent a roller that got past the mound, and even though the second baseman Glenn Hubbard finally fielded the ball, he never did make a throw to first base. Infield single for Schmidt. Schmitty has added another category to his league lead now. He's the top run scorer in the National League with 50 of them. Two and nothing. Too bad Schmitty didn't save some of those runs for tonight. And Negro is behind Schmidt 3-0. Phil has not walked anybody tonight, nor has he recorded a strikeout. Remember, he was ahead 6-0 before he pitched. Called strike.
Schmitty has pretty good stats.
Well, I'll say.
Despite the fact that a third of the season was blown in the strike.
Solid ground ball. Changed directions on Hubbard, but he stayed with it and made the play. Hubbard almost overran that ball. That ball sort of darted back toward the middle a little bit. 2 up and 2 down. Here's Keith Moreland. Keith was retired by the shortstop Ramirez on a ground ball. Moreland starting his 6th consecutive game tonight. In the second half of the year, Keith is a .300 batter. Missed the knuckleball.
The thing that amazes me about Atlanta is the way they play Moreland. They play him as a dead pull hitter. He gets a lot of base hits to right field.
Especially with 2 strikes. There's a knuckler that sailed on Negro. And the Fanatic is trying to entertain a crowd that needs a little entertaining tonight because the Phillies are trailing 10-0. Pressure's on the Fanatic. Three balls and a strike on Moreland. Phil's batting in the 4th and trailing 10-0. Full count. That was a tough pitch on the outside part of the plate. Keith slugs it to left field, but Linares is right there. Oh, he battled the lights.
You didn't know he had it.
How about that? Wicked liner right at Linares. Moreland is out. Phillies down 1-2-3 in the 4th. We go to the 5th. It's 10-0 Braves.
When the Gulf Oil Company opened the world's first drive-in service station, gasoline was just gasoline. But as the years went by, Gulf scientists developed high-test gasolines. Gasoline for when people had to save gasoline. Even cleaner-burning gasolines. So whether it's regular, unleaded, or super unleaded, gasoline is no longer just gasoline when the technology is Gulf.
Gulf, Gulf, Gulf. Driving experience.
The Yamaha Virago, with a unique combination of V-twin engine, monoshock suspension, and shaft drive, it's been a lot easier to want one than to find one.
Phillies return for their next homestand beginning Thursday, September 3rd against the Cincinnati Reds. That'll be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The Thursday game begins at 7:35. The Friday, September 4th game will begin at 8:05. Saturday, September 5th, the Reds will be in for a 7:05 game. That'll be team jersey night. And Sunday afternoon, the 6th, The Reds at 2:05. Back to school day. All children 14 and under will receive a free canvas bag for school. Rafael Ramirez leads off the inning, and he got decked, and Tim McCarver will tell us about it.
Well, I'll tell you, that's a warning.
We're getting a warning.
Well, I just don't believe Dickey was trying to do that. I mean, it's a 10-0 ball game. He's warning. That ball was awfully close. Rafael's got to be saying, what did I do? I'm one of the few guys who hadn't been on base.
That's right. He's the number 8 hitter, and he's 0 for 2.
That is an official warning, however. Dickey will get the automatic $50 fine.
Nick Colosi is telling both dugouts. He has informed the Phillies dugout, and now he's telling Bobby Cox, so there's no retaliation involved here.
Well, I guess it's better to be safe than sorry. You don't want to see anything started in a ball game such as this.
Dickey with that famous knockdown pitch in the World Series. And you wonder when you get a reputation like that, whether they're not a little quicker to warn you.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
1-0 pitch. And a pop-up. Maybe a play. Rose is moving over. Looks like he has room. Look out. He couldn't get it. Nice try by Pete, but he couldn't get it.
There's Steve Fields walking along with Petey and the Atlanta bench. I don't believe from the way the team acted and Bobby Cox acted that they thought that was a knockdown pitch.
Yeah, that's true. They did not react to it very much at all. 1 ball, 1 strike on Ramirez. He is lined out to second and grounded to second. Schmidt can't get it. Boa can't bid it. And it'll be a base hit for Ramirez. He danced that ball right between the third baseman and the shortstop. That is the 8th hit of the night for Atlanta. This is the 4th time in 5 innings the Braves have had their leadoff man on. And did you hear some leather lung just yell, "I hope you're here till midnight"? Well, we were last night. We didn't mind at all. And if it's going to take till midnight to win this game, we won't mind again.
The only comparable game, I was telling Harry on a radio broadcast, Andy, was the 9-0 game against the Dodgers last year, when in the 6th inning the Phillies exploded for 9 runs in 3 innings. Or in 4 innings, as a matter of fact, capped off by a John Vukovich single in the 9th inning. The Dodgers won it in extra innings. Remember that game?
Yes, I do.
Dave Goltz was the starter. So you never know. That's the optimistic outlook.
Right. And Niekro strikes out. That's the first out of the inning and the 3rd strikeout for Knowles since coming on. That'll bring to the plate the leadoff man, Rufino Linares. We're going to pause here for station identification along the Phillies television network.
This is WPHL TV, Channel 17, Philadelphia.
Linares has not been retired tonight. He's 2 for 2 with a walk, and he scored 3 runs. Little chop off the plate, going to be tough. It goes foul. Strike 1 on Linares. He can fly. He was down that line in a hurry.
Tell you, he's a very impressive ball player. I haven't seen much that he can't do. Rufino Linares
can't walk.
Do everything, but he has a tough time walking. He's got a good arm. What a year he had last year in Savannah and Richmond.
Yes, he did. He put together 2 great half seasons, and that earned him his trip to the major leagues. He's batting at 2:53 at game time. Here's a pop-up. This is in foul ground. Rose is over, and he's out of room this time for sure. Dick Ruthven and Gaylord Perry here tomorrow night.
Gaylord going for his 296th career victory.
Bobby Cox telling me before the ball game that Gaylord has as much fun as anybody on the team. He said he's a real cut up in the dugout. He's got a lot of energy. He just enjoys baseball, and Gaylord has already announced that he doesn't know where it's going to be, but he will be pitching next year. Whether he gets number 300 or not. He's a strikeout victim, and that'll be the 4th strikeout for Dickie Knowles. 2 down in the inning. Claudell Washington will bat. That's the first time they got Linares tonight. Washington has not been retired. He has 2 singles and a walk, has scored twice. The Astros lead the Mets 1-0 in the third. Expos over the Reds 3-0 in the third. Dodgers and Buccos 1-1. They're in the bottom of the third inning. Scoreless in the second, Giants and Cardinals. This afternoon, the Cubs beat San Diego 4-3. Hard ground ball. Mike Schmidt can't play it. That'll be extra bases. Ramirez is going to be waved around, I believe. Yes, he is. Washington heading for third base. Throw to the plate. They got the man at the plate. Ramirez is tagged out at the plate, and the Phillies have prevented further damage. No runs, 2 hits, 1 man left on base. Middle of the 5th inning, 10-0 Atlanta.
Our gift closet is jam-packed with more Phillies gift items, like this team jersey from Gulf Oil. It's made of a knit polyester fabric for easy care and looks just like the team jersey our guys wear. You can pick up this team jersey free if you're 14 and under on Saturday night, September 5th, right before the Phillies-Reds game. Expand that Phillies wardrobe with a team jersey on Saturday, September 5th.
When you tour the old country, you'll feel you're in Europe. The old country is the pageantry of England and the beauty of France. The old country is Oktoberfest in Germany and sunny, spectacular Italy. Come, take the grand tour of Europe at the old country, Busch Gardens, Williamsburg.
Be sure to join host Steve Fredericks for Sportsline 17 tonight following the 10th inning with Bob Bradley on Channel 17. We go to the bottom half of the 5th inning, and the Phillies did something right. They threw a runner out at home plate. Hasn't been all negative tonight.
It's got to give you a great feeling, too. The fans here at the Vet give them a standing ovation when they're 10 runs down. Got to love that part of these great fans here.
Well, let's see now. Phil Niekro has had 3 perfect innings, so he has retired 10 straight batters as Gary Maddox prepares to lead off the 5th inning. Maddox doing his thing tonight. With this big lead, he can afford to just get out there and throw.
Right.
Maddox grounded to shortstop.
Yeah, the Phillies have hit the ball well, but they've hit it right at Linares about 3 times.
That's true.
A couple of sharply hit ground balls. One thing Phil will not do in this situation is walk a hitter.
And he hasn't walked a batter tonight. There have been only 2 base runners, and they were both hits. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Niekro has 2 types of knuckleballs, Andy. One that goes away from a right-handed hitter and one that stays in or really actually comes back in on a right-handed hitter and can do the same thing, of course, against a left-handed hitter. Very deceptive. There it is, as opposed to the other one that went away from Gary Maddox.
The 2-1 pitch on the way. And a hard hit ball that will go through for a base hit. Gary Maddox singles to the left of Ramirez, and that is only the 3rd hit for the Phillies. And that ends the streak of 10 straight retired by Niekro. Here's Manny Trio. Manny's 13th inning home run last night won the ball game for the Phillies, and he almost homered in his first at bat tonight. His high fly ball was caught on the warning track by Linares. Manny takes a called strike. Braves lead 10-0. Braves have more runs than they have hits. They've had 9 hits. Bases on balls helped them out early tonight. So tomorrow night, the Phillies play here at the Vet for the final time in August. Called strike.
On a tough road trip, too. 4 games in the Astrodome and 3 in Atlanta. Phillies have had problems in those parks, as have a lot of other teams, particularly the Astrodome.
There was a knuckleball, and Manny did not get much of it. Shallow left field, and look out, Linares dropped this one. Throw to second base, they get a force. Maddox is forced at second base. Linares finally bobbled the ball. He's been fighting all kinds of problems out there tonight.
Yeah, there's not much Gary Maddox can do about this ball. You got to figure that Linares is going to make the catch. He's under it. And a lot of times when you run too hard after a ball like that, your head starts bobbing, and you don't really, you lose sight of the ball. And Gary was on his way back to first base, and it was an easy out at second base because the ball came right up to Linares, and the Braves can't do anything wrong tonight.
Well, that'll just be a fielder's choice. Score at 7-4. Here's a bunt try by Boa. Necro fields, and he didn't win 3 consecutive Gold Gloves for nothing.
No way it'll be a sacrifice, I wouldn't think.
Greg Gross will be the pinch hitter. I don't think it's a sacrifice either. Whitey, did they make an announcement whether that's a sacrifice or not? No sacrifice.
Yeah, Boa bunting for a base hit all the way with 1 out and 10 runs down. There's no way that the official scorer, however, has the option of, if it were, in his opinion, a sacrifice attempt under normal circumstances, but these certainly are not normal circumstances.
No. So Greg Gross will get a shot right here with a runner at second base. 2 outs in the inning, and Greg will hit. He's batting .278. Takes low a ball.
Well, Mike Proley will get a chance to come in here and get a little work in. He's the pitcher warming up for the Phillies.
There's a knuckleball in for a called strike. Knowles worked 4 innings in the ball game. He gave up 5 hits and 3 runs, walked 2, struck out 4. Knuckleball, shallow left field, not so far this time though, and the shortstop Ramirez goes back, makes the catch, and the Phillies have been retired in the 5th inning. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left on base. Rich Ashburn will be back when we go to the 6th inning. It's 10-0 Atlanta, and now time for a tasty break with Tasty Cake.
Tasty Cake is a day in spring, a brand new love or a golden ring. Tasty Cake is the morning sun. It's all the good things wrapped up in one.
Tasty Cake has delivered the same kind of quality for over 60 years. Delicious tasting cake made with the goodness of milk, butter, and eggs, brought fresh from the bakery to you.
Tasty Cake is a world of fun. It's all the good things wrapped up in one.
To pay my bills, 585 4000. The first thing George asks me is my customer information number, and then I punch that in. George then wants me to pay my first bill. I punch my first bill's number and the amount of that bill. This time it's my phone bill, and it's $13.06. I hear the number and it's correct, and then I go and punch my next bill. Banking by phone is just that easy.
Changing the way people bank.
Here's our Toyota dealer of the game, Foster Toyota, Route 13, Levittown, Pennsylvania. Oh, what a feeling, Toyota. Welcome back, Rich. Some night, huh?
Well, as we said earlier, Tim, once in a while you get into a ball game like this. Not very often, thankfully, and not much you can do about it. Louis Aguayo will be the new shortstop. Boa's out of the game. Greg Gross will stay in center. Maddox is out of the game.
Well, Mike Proley getting a chance to work tonight. He has not worked that much in the second half of this split season. Michael, Saint for second baseman Jay Laviglio in spring training, has done a fine job for the Phillies. This is Mike's 25th appearance. He's 2-0 with a 3.18 ERA. Pitched 34 innings. He's allowed 34 hits. Only walked 10. He only struck out 11. He's a contact pitcher and gets a lot of ground balls.
And he'll face the heart of the order, Horner, Murphy, and Chambliss, the first 3 batters here in the 6th. Braves with a lot of early scoring, lead 10-0. Horner officially 0 for 1. He has walked a couple of times, and he scored 2 runs. This is when you need a good color man to damn this kind of a game. So entertain us.
Well, the one thing that you really have to, I guess, rationalize is that you can't lose but one game, even though you're getting the daylights beat out of you.
Mike Schmidt on the ground ball, and Horner's out. 1 down.
Hate to see Mark Davis greeted so rudely in his return to the major leagues. But, of course, Dickie Knowles, in his first 2 outings, had a touch of nervousness. Had a good outing the last time, and it was going along pretty strong tonight until a couple of base hits was the start of his downfall this evening.
Ball 1 to Dale Murphy, who's 1 for 3 with a single. And he has 3 runs batted in.
You like this guy as a player, don't you?
Oh, yes.
Got to.
A ball and a strike on Murphy. 2-1 the count. I remember Tommy Underwood's first his major league debut. He came in relief and served up a grand slam home run to Joe Morgan.
Yeah,
so
I remember.
Mark Davis is not in a very exclusive group. Of course, this was not Mark's first major league appearance. He pitched up here last year at the end of the season.
Briefly, right. 2 appearances, 1 starting assignment. That was in Montreal, the last game of the year last year.
Hit well. Greg Gross back. He can't get it. It is off the bottom of the fence. And Dale Murphy will have a stand-up double. Ball got to the center field fence in a hurry.
Shows you what kind of power Murphy has. Dale had 33 home runs last year, and 2 years before he hit 23 and 21. He's got some power.
Chris Chambliss, the batter. He's had a good night with 3 runs batted in, a double, walk, and a ground out. It's one of those big guys with a short stroke.
Yeah. Good power to left center. Pulled the ball his first time up against Mark Davis.
Strike 1 on Chambliss, hitting .281. Foul ball. 2 strikes. Montreal leads Cincinnati 3-0 in the 3rd inning. Mike Lacoste started that game for Cincinnati. He's had a rough year.
Yeah, he has. He was taken out of the starting rotation. I believe this is his first start in the second half. Cincy getting great pitching from that young Bruce Berini, who shut out the Mets 2-0 last night.
Missed with a sinker. A ball and 2 strikes on Chambliss. Murphy at second, 1 out. Top of the 6th, 10-0 Atlanta. Uh-oh. That ball is hit out of here a mile. Oh! Fake McBride in right field never moved. That's a 2-run homer by Chambliss, his 7th of the season, his 5th run batted in of the night, and the Braves lead at 12-0. What a shot that was, huh?
Oh, I'm telling you. Perfect example of how a left-handed hitter handles the ball down and in. This was a slider. We talk about that pitch down and in. And left-handed, the bat head doesn't have to travel as far. The reason you keep it up is to hit it fair, a ball up and in. Your bat head has to travel about a yard farther. That ball down and in, all you have to do is drop the bat head on it, and that's what Chris Chambliss just did.
This is Glenn Hubbard, who is hitless, believe it or not. He and the pitcher are the only ones that have it hit. A ball and a strike on Hubbard.
5 RBIs for Chris Chambliss tonight. His 7th home run of the year.
Mike Schmidt makes the play. Hubbard is out. 2 outs. You know, Chambliss hit that ball a long ways into the bleachers, but when you think of the one that Willie Stargell hit here in the tunnel in the 600 level.
I called it.
Did you?
Yep, off of Jim Bunning. Backup slider.
I mean, that ball had to go about 100 feet further.
Oh, I'm telling you. Hit that runway and it still might be traveling. That runway like it was on a conveyor belt.
Bruce Benedict up there with a strike. He's 1 for 3 with a grand slam home run in the first inning.
Is that the farthest ball you've ever seen hit, you think? Got to rank up top 2 or 3 with me.
The furthest one I've seen hit here by a left-hand hitter. I think the farthest ball I ever saw hit Richie Allen hit in Connie Mack Stadium over the center field fence off Nelson Brile.
Oh, yeah, I call that one too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Call the last. I got some long fingers.
When did you first notice you were calling the wrong pitches?
The wrong pitches. It was the wrong hitters at the plate. I remember
pitches
that.
Were great, huh?
As a matter of fact,
struck him out.
We'll get to that later.
Okay, that'll retire the side, but the Braves with 2 more runs, 2 hits, nobody left on base. Phillies batting home 6th. They trail Atlanta 12-0.
This Bud's for the guys who got what it takes to shake, rattle, and keep on rolling.
This Bud's for you, for all you do. The king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
Gino's 1957.
You don't have any roast beef sandwiches?
Shout this out.
Who asked you?
1965.
You don't have any roast beef?
Told you so.
It's okay.
1976.
Still no roast beef?
I told you so, dear.
I didn't ask you. But now comes Gino's 1981, and yes, we have roast beef. Hot, tender, juicy, and good.
Gino's has roast beef?
Gino's. Told you so.
You're proud for the food.
Tomorrow night at 8, a young boy struggles to become the head of a shipping company. As Stephen Mock and Sharon Glaze star in The Immigrants on Channel 17, The Great Entertainer.
A couple of Braves changes. Murphy has gone from center field to first base, and Brett Butler in center field. And the Phillies with the top of their order, Rose, McBride, and Matthews to bat against Phil Niekro, who's given up 3 hits only, and of course has pitched shutout baseball. Rose takes low ball 1. Okay, continue the story.
Well, what had happened to Dick Allen before that monstrous home run in Connie Mack was Nelson Brise had knocked him down. And Dick proceeded to get up, and his eyes got as big around as saucers, and I'm telling you, he unloaded on that ball. I've never seen a ball hit any harder than that.
And that was a long way to dead center field in Connie Mack Stadium.
Yeah, right to the left of the scoreboard.
I had never seen anybody even hit the fence in dead center field there, let alone clear the fence. That's ball 3 to Rose, and a called strike.
Center fielder Brett Butler playing for Atlanta. Huh?
You like that, don't you?
I sure do.
3-1 pitch. Rose hit it deep, but Brett Butler makes the catch. 1 down. Fake McBride, the batter. Fake is 0 for 2.
Be the all-time movie, huh? Gone with the Wind.
Oh, great.
GWTW.
Strike one on McBride. I saw that movie, I'll bet you 30 times, because I used to run the projection machines in the theater at Tilden, Nebraska when that thing came around.
How long did GWTW play then? 2 years or so?
Brett Butler making the play. We didn't get it until about 10 years after.
Got it until in 73 as a first-run movie.
They don't even have a theater in Tilden, Nebraska anymore.
Is that right?
Gary Matthews has a hit. Strike one on the knuckleball. He's 1 for 2, hitting at .297. Ground ball. Ramirez. Matthews is out, and the Phillies go down in order. At the end of 6 full innings, it's Atlanta 12, the Phillies nothing. Now a word from Getty, your choice for BVP, better vehicle performance.
The automobile business has become a numbers game. All you hear from car manufacturers these days are gas mileage claims. But the fact is, you won't get good gas mileage unless you take care of your car, drive sensibly, and use a quality gasoline. That's why you should use Getty. Getty helps you get the proper performance out of your new car, your old car, any car at all. At Getty, we want you to get the most out of your car.
Come on, son, it's getting late.
Oh, right. It's the last week of your Toyota dealer's cook-up a deal days, so you got to cook up a deal now. Come on! He's got sales incentives from Toyota to move out a whole herd of trucks by the end of this month. Let's go! No! These aren't ordinary trucks. They're America's best-selling small trucks. Long beds, standard beds, 4x4s, even diesels. Toyota's prices may never be lower. See your Toyota dealer!
Don't horse around, son.
My opinion, the Gerard transaction account is superior to the other now accounts, period.
Gerard Bank.
Couple of Phillies changes. Lonnie Smith in left field now. Matthews out of the game, and Dick Davis in right field as McBride leaves the game, and some of the Phillies regulars getting a rest in this runaway. 12-0 Braves. We're in the 7th. Harry Callis.
All right, thank you, Rich. Rafael Ramirez, the shortstop, will lead off. Braves 12 runs, 11 hits. Phillies no runs and 3 hits, 1 strike to Ramirez. He is 1 out of 3. Nubs a foul down the first base side. 0-2 to Rafael Ramirez. Souvenir for that young man. Next telecast here on Channel 17 will be Friday night from Houston's Astrodome. Off the end of his bat, still 0-2. Ball and 2 strikes to Ramirez. He lost in the air to left center field deep, but Greg Gross back there, and Greg puts it away. There's 1 down. I want to bring up the pitcher, Phil Necro, and it's time for our Coca-Cola trivia question tonight. Who was the last Western Division player to lead the National League in hitting? And
Good
the
question.
answer and the
Might be the highlight of this ball game.
Necro slams a hit to left field. So Phil Necro
picks up the Braves' 12th hit. And that'll bring up the top of the order, Rufino Linares. Linares is 2 out of 3, has singled, walked, singled, and struck out. One and nothing to Linares. Proley, Phillies' third pitcher. Mark Davis started, Dickie Knowles, and now Proley. Two and one. I would suspect that Bobby Wine and Herm Starrett will be subject of some ribbing. And they get the force at second base on Necro. And their first assignment taking over for Dallas Green, who's been indefinitely suspended.
I don't think John McGraw in his prime could have done anything with this game.
Nope.
When you get into a game like this, you can't blame the manager. Best thing a manager can do in a game like this is keep anybody from getting hurt.
Yep. You only get one loss for it. That's lofted in the air by Claudel Washington and put away by Lonnie Smith. No runs, one hit, no errors, one left. We go to the bottom of the seventh with the score. Braves 12 and the Phillies nothing.
I love Phillies Franks. They put a smile on my face.
Phillies Franks. They make everyone smile.
This bud's for everyone who wraps it, stacks it, and sacks it.
This bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This bud's for you.
The 1981 edition of the Phillies Yearbook remembers. It takes you through 10 years of vet baseball nostalgia and a final look at last year's championship season. The yearbook remembers Steve's 3,000th career strikeout and Pete's 3,630th hit, plus large full-color player photos. To purchase your copy by mail, send $4 to Phillies Yearbook, Box 7776, Philadelphia, or pick up your copy the next time you visit the vet.
Well, the summer of '81 is almost history, and the Phils are going to set it off with a bang on Labor Day, Monday, September 7th. The Phillies will play their arch rivals, the Montreal Expos. Prior to the game, the Golden Knights, the U.S. Army parachute team, will jump into the vet in an exciting pregame show. Then after the game, the Phils will present a huge aerial fireworks show that will be the treat for every member of the family. Mark that date down, Labor Day, Monday, September 7th. The Golden Knights, lots of fireworks, plus the Phils and the Expos. Game time, 7:05. Leading off for the Phillies, Mike Schmidt. He is singled and grounded out. 12-0 Atlanta, bottom of the seventh. Braves with 12 hits. Phillies with just 3 singles off Necro by Gary Matthews, Mike Schmidt, and Gary Maddox. One and nothing to Schmidt. He beats that knuckleball into the ground, but it's trickling foul. Ball and a strike to Mike.
I don't think Negro gets involved in many games like this either. He usually has to work a little harder. I would bet you, Harry, he's thrown less knuckleballs tonight than he's thrown all year.
Yeah, I would have to think so. He hasn't struck anybody out, and he usually gets some strikeouts, and he hasn't walked anybody. With that big lead, he's not about to put anybody on base. Gets behind, he says, here's the fastball, hit it. Phillies have hit some balls hard, but at people. Check swing, base hit. Center field. So Schmidt has his second hit. Mike has had probably the two weakest base hits of his career tonight off Negro. A little infield tap and that check swing base hit, but it'll put him over the 300 mark in batting average. Here's Keith Moreland.
Here's a guy that's hit the ball hard twice, has nothing to show for it. He really ripped a line drive his last time up right at the left fielder.
One ball and one strike to Keith Moreland. Schmidt first base and nobody out. Bottom of the seventh. Hit to the shortstop, might be two. Hubbard one, relay, they get the double play. Our Coca-Cola trivia question of the night: name the last Western Division player to lead the National League in hitting.
I believe, Harry, that could only be I think that could only be Pete Rose.
No, it was not Pete. He played for the Atlanta Braves. Luis Aguayo is batting for the first time, hitting 163. Knuckleball is over.
Played for the Atlanta Braves.
And it happened a few years ago. The last Western
Jeff
Division.
Burroughs?
No, the last Western Division player to lead the league in hitting did it in 1974. Had Parker a couple of times. Ralph Gator-Gar.
Good question.
353 as Aguayo is called out on strikes, and the Phillies go down to the seventh. No runs, one hit, no errors, none left. After seven, it's 12-0 Atlanta.
Outfield straight away with Jones especially deep. Bases loaded. 2 out. Full count. Bottom of the ninth. The pitcher winds. Delivers. It's a ball. Here's John.
Good evening. It's time for the live drawing of the daily number.
Play the daily number. Pennsylvania's favorite sport.
If you haven't been to Pep Boys lately, you're in for a big surprise. Pep Boys is bigger and better than ever. Take our line of famous name brands.
Got them all.
Other auto stores only have a small area for spark plugs, filters, and oils. We have aisles and aisles filled with everything you need.
Incredible.
All at our famous low prices. You're going to like the change at Pep Boys.
Save 25% on our entire stock of rubber clean floor mats. Choose your favorite style and color now at Pep Boys.
From Howard Fast's best-selling paperback novel, The Immigrants, comes the most powerful romantic adventure of the television year. Out of the ashes of a San Francisco earthquake,
Mama!
The roughneck son of an Italian fisherman built an empire, then fought to keep it.
I love you. And you knew it.
The Immigrants, Wednesday night at 8 on Channel 17.
Have a change for the Phils. Ramon Aviles coming into play third base, replacing Mike Schmidt. Bob Horner will lead off. for the Braves here in the 8th. 1 strike to Horner. Horner's 0 for 2 as walk struck out, walked and grounded out. Lines that one into left field for a base hit. Horner's first hit of the night. Braves have had 1 hit, at least 1 hit in every inning except the 3rd. That's their 13th. And it'll bring on Dale Murphy. He has struck out, grounded out, singled and doubled. Jerry Royster's going to come out and run for Bob Horner. And Royster will undoubtedly stay in the game and play third base. Royster at first base. Nobody out, 8th inning. 1-0 to Murphy. 3 players have knocked in the Braves 12 runs. Chris Chambliss 5 RBIs tonight. Line drive to Manny Trio. Return throw gets away from Rose, but Royster is not going to go anywhere. Murphy is out on a line drive, 1 down. Chambliss with 5 RBIs. Benedict with 4 on the slam, and Murphy with 3. Here's the rookie Brett Butler batting for the first time tonight. Little left-hand hitter who was leading the International League in hitting at Richmond, batting .335. Since coming up, he is 3 out of 21, hitting .143. 1-0 to Butler. Ground ball up the middle, past Aguayo, base hit center field, and the Braves have runners at first and second with 1 down as Butler singles. And that'll bring up Glenn Hubbard. Paid attendance tonight, 33,383. Royster at second, Butler at first, 1 down. Here is Hubbard. Hubbard is hitless in 3 official at-bats. He has walked. One strike to Glenn Hubbard. Hubbard the only one in the starting lineup without a hit. Two strikes to Glenn Hubbard. Dick Ruthven tomorrow night. He'll be opposed by Gaylord Perry. Telecast time will be the same. Well, no, we're not televising tomorrow. We are televising on Friday from Houston. Hubbard is out on strikes. Second strikeout for Crowley. That's 2 down. Larry Owen is coming out to bat for Bruce Benedict. So Benedict leads the game with 1 for 4, but it was a big one, a grand slam home run. Owen's been a bat 3 times for the Braves without a hit. 2 men on base, 2 outs. One strike to Owen. Owen will probably stay in the ball game and catch. He pops him up to shallow left center field. Lonnie Smith and Gross are both there. Gross makes the catch, and the Braves are out in the 8th. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. They leave 2. We go to the bottom half of the 8th inning, and Atlanta leads the Phillies 12-0.
Expand your Phillies wardrobe with this team jersey. Compliments of the Phillies and Gulf Oil. Pick up the gift September 5th, right before the Phillies-Reds game.
This is a revolutionary charcoal. You just pour and light. You don't need lighter fluid. Ever. Matchlight. Look again. Matchlight lights fast and easy. You don't add a single drop of lighter fluid. Matchlight from Kingsford. It's the pour and light charcoal because you don't need lighter fluid. Ever.
I pay 56 merchants with my George Bank by phone. I just think he's terrific. He can organize things so much better than I can. The George Bank by phone has not only saved me money in terms of actual dollars, I figured it probably saves me about $100 a year just in terms of postage, in terms of my time going to the post office and all the fuss that you get into when you have to pay bills. I just think George Bank by phone is terrific.
Gerard Bank.
Well, we have a new third baseman, Jerry Royster, who came in a pinch run for Bob Horner. He stays in the game to play third. Larry Owen, who pinch hit for Bruce Benedict, will stay in the game and catch. And we have a new pitcher coming on for Phil Niekro. This is Preston Hanna. Niekro going 7 shutout innings, allowed 4 hits, no runs, struck out 1, didn't walk a batter. Preston Hanna, appearing in his 20th game, he's won 2, lost 1, an ERA of 6.62. It'll be Manny Trio, probably a pinch hitter from Mike Proley and Greg Gross. Bob Boone is moving into the on-deck circle to bat for Proley. Braves 12, Phillies nothing, bottom half of the 8th inning. Trio is 0 for 2, has fly to deep left and popped up into a fielder's choice. Ball dropped by Linares in left field, but he got a force at second. 1 strike to Manny Trio. There's Bob Boone on deck to bat for Mike Proley. Ball and a strike to Trio. Ball and 2 strikes to Manny. Not happy with the call by Nick Pelosi. It's 2-2. This has been all Braves. Atlanta 12, Phillies nothing. Trio fouls it out of play. It's 2-2. Preston Hanna in his first inning in relief of Phil Niekro. He misses, and it's a full count to Trio. And he pops a foul back up over our heads. Still 3-2. Bouncing ball to Jerry Royster. Low throw. Nice grab by Murphy. Royster's been having his problems getting the ball from third to first the last couple of nights, but a good scoop by Murphy, 1 down.
You can get away with those kind of throws on AstroTurf. Sometimes on grass and dirt, they take funny hops, but it's a true bounce on this carpet.
Bob Boone batting for Mike Proley. Boone hitting at .227. Only his second appearance this year as a pinch hitter. 1-0 to Boone. 2-0 to him. Three and nothing. Greg Gross due up next. Boone had the green light 3-0 and popped the foul back up over the screen. 3-1 to Bob Boone. Pops it up on the right side. Dale Murphy, the first baseman. And foul ground, puts it away. That's 2 down, and it'll bring on Greg Gross, who pinch hit and stayed in the ball game. Gross popped up in his only at bat. One strike to Greg Gross. That's tapped to the second baseman Hubbard, and the Phillies are down in quick order here in the 8th. No runs, hits or errors, and none left. We go to the 9th inning. Atlanta leads the Phils 12-0.
I tell the guys up here, if they stick around me long enough, I'll teach them the game. I already taught them which are the best hot dogs.
Phillies Franks, plump, juicy hot dogs by Medford's.
This Bud's for everybody who sets them up just so they can knock them down. They're league bowlers, and they know that when you join a league, you get rolling. The competition, the excitement with good times to spare. You find it all in the leagues at your local bowling center. And league bowlers can compete in the Budweiser Hall of Fame tournament coming this winter. So join a league and get rolling. For all you do, this Bud's for you.
The year-end Toyota rush is on. Time to cook up a deal on a brand new Corolla. Toyota's prices may never be lower on the world's best-selling car line. Saddle up Toyota's lowest price car, the gas-saving front-wheel drive Corolla Tercel. See your Toyota dealer before they're all gone.
I don't mean to nag you, but...
Well, we have some changes for the Phils. A new pitcher coming on, Sparky Lyle. Bob Boone catching. Ramon Aviles has moved from third base to second base. There's Ramon, Manny Trio out of the ball game. Keith Moreland has moved from catcher to third base. That's Bob Boone catching and Sparky Lyle pitching. 9th inning, 12-0 Braves. Well, the Cincinnati Reds are one of baseball's most exciting teams, and the Phils have a great giveaway item for you youngsters when the Reds come to town Saturday night, September 5th. All youngsters 14 or under will receive an official Phillies team jersey modeled after the Phillies home jersey. It has Mike Schmidt's number 20 on the front. The shirt compliments of the Phils and Gulf Oil. Game time on team jersey night, 7:05. Get your tickets now. Rafael Ramirez, the batter, hits one off the mound to Aguayo, who fires low. Dugout by Rose, and Ramirez is out on a remarkable play, 1 down.
Well, Sparky Lyle will get an assist here the hard way. Ball off his foot, I believe. Right to Aguayo. Pete Rose made a great grab on this ball.
Yes, he did. 1-6-3. This is Eddie Miller batting for Preston Hanna. Switch hitter, bats right against Lyle. 1-0 to Miller. 9th inning, Braves leading 12-0. Miller hitting .230 overall. He's batting .238 right-handed. Fouls it off, 1-1. Braves 12 runs and 14 hits. Phillies no runs and 4 hits. Ball and 2 strikes to Miller. Larry Bradford is up in the Braves bullpen. He'll come in to pitch the bottom half of this inning. Hit on one hop. Nice grab by Keith Moreland. And he throws out. Throws out Miller. Rose liked that throw. He's right there for him.
Keith really gunned the ball. Hung out a clothesline across the diamond.
Here's Rufino Linares, the left fielder. He is singled, walked, singled, struck out, hit into a fielder's choice. One and nothing to Linares. Ball and a strike to him. He misses it, 1-2. Tap toward short. Aguayo late. Linares got down there in a hurry. He legs out an infield single for his 3rd hit of the night.
Got away from home plate because he didn't have a very good swing, but the swing gave him some momentum going towards first. Almost like a sprinter coming out of a starting block.
There's Claudell Washington. Washington is 3 out of 4 with 2 singles and a double. Rose has that one, and the Braves go down in the 9th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. They leave 1. We go to the bottom of the 9th with the score: Atlanta 12, Phillies nothing.
Who could forget the 1980 World Series? What a thrill for the Phillies, and what a thrill for me. Now Cotman gears up for the World Series, and you and a guest have a chance to win an all-expense-paid trip to the 1981 World Series. Stop by any participating Cotman Transmission Center and fill out an entry blank. The lucky winners fly to the series as a guest of Cotman and Channel 17. Maybe you'll go to California, Texas, Kansas City, or Seattle.
Larry Bradford, the new pitcher, coming on for the Atlanta Braves. Bradford in his 24th ball game. It's 1-2, lost none, saved 1, an ERA of 4.13. He'll be facing Pete Rose, Dick Davis, and Lonnie Smith here in the 9th. It's 12-0 Atlanta. Braves have out-hit the Phillies 15-4. Atlanta getting 6 in the 1st inning. And that kind of night for the Phillies, kind of like topping your tee shot to the ladies' tee and taking a mulligan and hitting it out of bounds. This is Larry Bradford, the left-hander. Atlanta's picked up a grand slam home run from Bruce Benedict in the 1st inning. Chris Chambliss has knocked in 5 runs in this game. And Dale Murphy 3. Pete Rose will lead off to face Bradford. He has a 7-game hitting streak on the line. He's 0 for 3, has twice grounded out and fly to deep center. Phillies will be facing Gaylord Perry. Tomorrow night it'll be Dick Ruthven for the Phils. We'll be televising the entire road trip, 4 games out of Houston and 3 from Atlanta, beginning on Friday night. There's Pete Rose to face Bradford. Phillies have had just 4 hits in the game, all singles, 2 of them by Mike Schmidt, 1 by Gary Matthews, 1 by Gary Maddox. One strike to Rose. Two strikes to Pete. Ball and 2 strikes. Give him a breaking ball. It's backhanded by Royster. His throw is true, and Rose is out, 1 down. That'll bring on Dick Davis. He's batting for the first time. Davis batting .368, or rather .363. One down, bottom of the 9th. Braves 12, Phillies nothing. Preston Hanna retired all 3 batters that he faced, was taken out for the pinch hitter. Bradford, the 3rd pitcher. So the Braves are trying for a 3-pitcher combined shutout tonight. Necro, a strong 7 innings. 1-0 the count to Dick Davis. Back through the middle, a base hit for Davis. So Davis picks up the Phillies' 5th hit of the night, a ground single to center field. Takes at first base with 1 out for Lonnie Smith. Lonnie's also batting for the first time tonight, hitting .256. One strike to Lonnie Smith. Ball on the strike. Let's pause for station identification on the Phil's television network. One ball and 1 strike to Lonnie Smith. Dick Davis at first and 1 out. 2-1. Ramon Aviles due up next. Three and 1 to Lonnie Smith. Way outside, walked him. So the Phillies have 2 men on base with 1 out. And Ramon Aviles will be the batter. Aviles hitting .125. He's only been at bat 16 times, 2 hits. Knocked in 2 runs. Two men on base with one down. Ramon fouls off that one. One strike to him. Pops this one foul back over the screen. Two strikes to Ramon Aviles. Nunn got that foul ball off the bat of Aviles. Ball and two strikes to Aviles. It's another foul ball, right field side. Expos are pounding on Cincinnati tonight, 9-0 in the fifth inning. Houston still leads the Mets 1-0 behind Nolan Ryan. And the Dodgers lead Pittsburgh. He's high with a breaking ball. It's 2-2. Dick Davis at second. He singled at first base. Lonnie Smith. He walked with one out. Full count. And Larry Owen going out to talk to his pitcher, Larry Bradford. Full count to Aviles. Ramon stays alive, fouling pitch off. Full count to him. Another foul ball. Aviles dealing out a lot of souvenirs here at the ballpark. Two men on base, one out, ninth inning. That's a fair ball. Shallow left field. Linares coming in. And that's two down. It'll bring on Keith Moreland. Moreland caught most of the game. Moved to third base late in the ball game. He's 0 for 3. He's hit it hard. He's grounded in the hole. Line to left. Grounded into a double play. Bradford misses with a breaking ball. Two and nothing to Keith Moreland. (12-0) Braves, ninth inning. Phillies have two men on base and two outs. It's 3-0 to Moreland. Luis Aguayo due up next.
They might let him swing here, Harry.
Yeah, I think they probably will. He took it. It's 3-1. Walked him, and that'll load the bases. Well, the Phillies have the bases loaded with 2 outs for Luis Aguayo. Aguayo, in his previous at-bat, was called out on strikes. Bases jammed, 2 down. Bradford is high with it, 1-0.
Not much you can tell a pitcher now except to throw the ball over the plate and let him hit it.
Del Unser moving into the on-deck circle to bat for Sparky Lyle should Aguayo reach base. Two and nothing. Bobby Cox, Braves manager. Aguayo pops a foul back over the screen. And it's 2-1. Bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. Slammed is short, off the glove of Ramirez. 2 runs are going to score. And it's a 12-2 ball game as the Phillies score in the 9th inning. Well, I'll tell you, not many of the 33,000 fans still left here, but those that are.
Well, they're diehards. Louis stung the ball. Ball slowed down, but that's about all by the shortstop Ramirez.
Del Unser coming in to pinch hit for Sparky Lyle. Moreland at second, Aguayo at first. They scored that an error on the shortstop, so no runs batted in for Luis. 1 strike to Unser.
I believe that should have been a base hit.
Yeah, I think so. He hit it pretty hard.
Sure, he hit it hard. The shortstop had to go hard to his right. Almost too hot to handle.
Ball and a strike to Unser. Two and one. Keith Moreland at second, Luis Aguayo at first with 2 outs. It's 3-1. Bob Boone due up next. He walked him, and that loads the bases. 3rd walk in the inning given up by Bradford.
Pitching coach Cloyd Boyer going out trying to get Bradford settled down a little bit. Braves want to get this last out. Still have a 10-run lead. grand slam home run here would still give him a 6-run lead.
Bob Boone, the batter, batting for the second time, came in a pinch hit in the 8th and stayed in the ball game. Fouled out to Dale Murphy in his only other at bat. Phillies have the bases loaded with 2 outs. (12-2) Atlanta, bottom of the 9th. It's a ball, 1-0. That's a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. He's very high with it, 2-1. Two balls and a strike to Boone with 2 outs, bases loaded. He's high with it. 3-1. Greg Gross due up next. Boone pops it up, and this should be the ball game. Drifting out, Ramirez. They collide, but Ramirez hangs on, and the ball game is over. Braves winning at 12-2. Phillies scoring 2 in the 9th on 1 hit, 1 error, 3 men left. 12-2 final. Tonight's Geno star of the game is Chris Chambliss, the first baseman who knocked in 5 runs. And Geno's will be donating 25 general admission tickets in the name of Chris Chambliss to the Woodland PAL in Woodland, New Jersey, and the Woodbury Police Little League in Woodbury, New Jersey. We'll be back with the totals and a wrap right after these words.
Into a world that's stamped out and frozen, Geno's introduces Home Style. Geno's new Home Style hamburger. Big, fresh, dressed to your taste, because it's dressed at Geno's Fresh Salad Bar by you. Geno's new Home Style hamburger. It'll change your idea of a hamburger for good. Announcing the Midas Challenge.
Midas challenges you to find a better price for an exhaust system. Midas challenges you to shop around and bring a written estimate to us, because we'll match that price or beat it. And you'll be getting a muffler from Midas, the muffler experts. That's the Midas Challenge. So come in today. You'll drive away with a muffler at a price nobody can challenge.
Get the Midas touch. Nobody else has it.
Well, you're going to have nights like this back at Veterans Stadium, where the Atlanta Braves have defeated the Phils by a score of 12-2, scoring 6 in the first inning, including a grand slam by Bruce Benedict. Chris Chambliss knocking in 5 runs. One of those ball games was all Atlanta. They hit the ball hard, banged out a lot of hits, and had fine pitching from Phil Niekro and Preston Hanna, and Atlanta won it by a count of 12-2 to even the series at 1 game apiece, setting the stage for tomorrow night. Dick Ruthven going against Gaylord Perry. The totals for the winning Atlanta Braves: they had 12 runs. Atlanta had 15 hits, 1 error, left 8. Phillies 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors, leaving 6. Phil Niekro, the winner, he's 6-4, and the loser was Mark Davis. He is 0-1. Stay tuned for Tim McCarver and his special guest as Phillies Today continues. Phillies baseball is produced and directed by Steve Silverman. Next telecast on Channel 17, Friday night from the Astrodome. We hope you'll join us then. For Rich Ashburn, Andy Musser, and Tim McCarver, Harry Callis reminding you to stay tuned for Tim and his special guest coming up shortly. Final once again, Atlanta 12, Phillies 2, and this is the Phils Television Network.
This has been Phillies Baseball 1981. This portion has been brought to you in part by New Getty Leaded Regular. At Getty, we want you to get the most out of your car. By United, official airline of the Phillies. By Pep Boys. Pep Boys is bigger and better than ever. By Ford. For the best deal in town, see your local Ford dealer. By Gerard, the bank that offers the multipliers, investment alternatives for all savers. By Geno's, you'll go for the food. By your local Toyota dealer, where now is a good time to cook up a deal. And by Budweiser, for all you do, this Bud's for you.
Well, knuckleballer Phil Niekro has 24 lifetime wins against the Phillies, and probably never an easier win than tonight's 12-2 victory. Two men accounted for 9 runs, 4 of them by Bruce Benedict with that first inning grand slam home run, and 5 tonight by Chris Chambliss. And he'll be our guest on the Phillies today, right after this break.
Give that man a blue ribbon.
What happened?
We finally won a game! When the real taste of beer is everything you thirst for. The original.
From all of us.
Blue ribbon beer.
I didn't know you guys could write.
WPHL TV, Channel 17, Philadelphia. This portion of Phillies Today is brought to you in part by Fram Filters and Autolite Spark Plugs. Both Fram and Autolite are Bendix companies.
Well, 2 hitting stars tonight. As we said, 5 runs batted in tonight by Chris Chambliss, 4 by Bruce Benedict. They all came in the first inning on a mighty wallop, a grand slam home run off rookie pitcher Mark Davis. As you can see in the monitor right now, he's standing by with Tim McCarver. Tim?
Thank you very much, Bob Bradley. It's rare that I have an opportunity to interview a young man that I think has all the tools necessary for greatness. And I really mean that, Bruce. I've admired your play last year, and tonight was no different. You've killed Philly pitching and done a great job on defense.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Ever since I got a chance to play last year, after being called up after the first 10 days of the season, I've really tried to take advantage of that, and I think that, you know, my progress, I'm fairly happy with it. I hope it continues, but I'm more happy to see the progress the Atlanta organization is making and progress that they're making as a team. I think we've made some great strides in the last couple of years. I hope that trend continues.
Well, in the second season, the split season, really had to help your ball club because you were 8 games out of first place in the first half of the season, and now here you are in first place.
Well, that's true. We weren't playing all that well at the end of the first season, so to speak, but we had like 6 people hurt. We had Horner out of our lineup. We had Claudell Washington out. We had Ed Miller out. We had Gene Garber out. We had 5 or 6 people that were very, very essential to our club, and if you take 5 or 6 people away from any ball club, they're going to have to struggle to play 500 ball, and with the exception of the last road trip where we played very poorly, we did play 500 ball, and now that we have our people back, that we feel more secure about ourselves and as a ball club, and we're glad to have everybody healthy, and we're going to try to make a run at this.
Well, your first Major League Grand Slam tonight. What an unbelievable accomplishment, and what a big thrill. You want to explain the pitch?
Well, it was just a fastball that was out over the plate, and, you know, I just happened to get the head of the bat on it, and I knew I hit it well, but I didn't know how far that it would carry, but, you know, I was just looking to hit a fly ball right there, and I happened to get it up a little bit, and maybe the wind blew it out, I don't know, but I'm happy anyway.
Well, you had a fly ball, all right, the thing. You touch them all right there. 4 RBIs, and the thing that impresses me most, Bruce, is the job you do with Phil Niekro, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that was how you initially won the #1 catching job, right?
Yeah, well, you know, Phil Negro, he's not the easiest guy in the world to catch, and I've taken a lot of pride in my ability to handle Phil, and, you know, when in 1979, Bobby decided to try me back there with Phil, and I had some success, and I've been with him ever since, and I'm real happy to be associated with Phil. Every time he goes out there, he represents a great competitor and a great contributor to the game of baseball and to the Atlanta organization. Every time he goes out there, you have to feel that you're going to win. That's the same with our guy that we're pitching tomorrow night, Gaylord Perry. Just super competitors and good people.
You looked like you were really having fun with Phil tonight, too. You had a 7-run lead, and he wasn't throwing that many knuckleballs.
Right. He didn't throw that many knuckleballs tonight. He had such good other stuff. He had good fastball and a good curve, and that's the most relaxed I've ever seen Phil pitch out there. And when a game, the pressure not like that, you don't have to worry about the ball getting by you so much or things like that. So it's much easier to play these games.
Not too many balls get by this young man. Atlanta's only all-star representative, Bob, and he's not only going to be a good one, he is a good one.
He doesn't have to prove anything to us, Timmy. Congratulations. Great ball game for Bruce Benedict. Well, there are not too many highlights for Phillies fans, but we have all the action for you. We'll have it right after this break.
National Car Rental believes business travelers deserve national attention.
You deserve some national attention. You deserve a national smile.
You deserve that smile.
You deserve a national reception. When you come in after all those miles,
come try us.
A national welcome and a good, clean GM car. You deserve national attention, 'cause we know how special you are.
You deserve national attention.
Well, as you know by now, the Braves really bombarded young Mark Davis tonight. We'll go back to the first inning to pick up the action in this ball game. A single, 2 walks, loaded the bases, and then he proceeds to strike out Dale Murphy. Pretty impressive. His problem tonight was control. And then the roof caved in. Veteran Chris Chambliss clubbed the ball to right field, extra bases. 2 runs scored. Linares and Washington, 2-0. Atlanta, still just 1 out. Another walk, loaded him up again, and then Bruce Benedict stepped to the plate. And here it comes, folks. He waffled it. Grand slam over the left field fence. 4 more runs scoring. The Braves batting around against the rookie, and they led 6-0 after just 1 inning of play tonight. There'll be other nights, other big games for young Mark Davis. After a leadoff walk and a single in the second, Mark Davis left the ball game. Dickie Knowles came in to pitch. Watch this. He strikes out the first batter, Bob Horner. Now, Mike Schmidt made a fine fielding play to retire the next hitter. This is a bare-hand grab and throw. He gets the runner at first, but Linares scored on the play. It was a 2-0 or 7-0 lead now. All right. Bobby Wine working in the dugout tonight. More runs in the 4th off Dickie Knowles. This is a single past Boa with the bases loaded. Game of inches, isn't it? Made it 9-0. That was a nobody out. Now the Phillies will get a put out here and a ground ball to Manny Trio, but another run scores. You counting? It's 10-0. Just not a fun night for Phillies fans. They had their first chance to cheer in the 5th inning. Watch this. A double by Claudell Washington. And Rafael Ramirez is going to try to score. You see a nice relay. Fire home. He's out. It is still just 10-0. Chris Chambliss put 2 more runs on the scoreboard in the 6th. There she goes. The 7th home run of the season. Mike Crowley was the victim. And that was a shot. Dale Murphy scored ahead of Chris. Now the Braves led 12-0. What a night for Chambliss, huh? Phil Niekro just kept flinging the ball in there tonight. He strikes out Luis Aguayo, completing 7 scoreless innings. He had scattered 4 hits. He took a shower. He was never in trouble. He left after 7. The Phillies added a couple of hits off a couple of relievers, and they loaded the bases in the 9th. Luis Aguayo gets a 2-out shot past the shortstop here. They called it an error. Well, there went the shutout. 2 runs scored, 12-2. And that reduced the gap to just 10 runs. But then a final pop-up by Bob Boone would bring the ball game to a merciful end. If you're going to lose, lose big. Quite a contrast to last night's cliffhanger. Phil Niekro gets the win, his 23rd lifetime against the Phillies. Mark Davis, the loser, his first loss to the Braves. Mark Davis, I suspect, is going to have many brilliant nights to come. We're conversing a little earlier about how often this can happen to a youngster. I remember it with the late Fred Hutchinson breaking in with the Detroit Tigers. Couldn't get out of the first inning. But he stayed on and had a glorious career. It happens many times. He'll be back. We want to take a look at the other action in the major leagues tonight. We'll do that right after this break.
Go ahead, try one. They're good. They look wonderful, but I gotta watch my weight. You too, huh? Little spare tire. I don't know that I would describe it that way, no. Gloria calls them love handles. Here, want brownie? No thanks, man. Gotta watch the love handles.
Barney Miller, weeknights at 6:30 on Channel 17.
Hi, guys.
Promotional consideration furnished by Seiko, the world leader in timekeeping and fashion. Available at K Jewelers, the Diamond People. Travel arrangements for WPHL TV are made by Mainline Travel of Bella Cynwyd. For your next travel arrangements, call 839-6636.
All right, let's see what we have for you on the scoreboard tonight. Checking out the American League action first. Texas has beaten Toronto by a score of 6-1. The winning pitcher, Ferguson Jenkins, and the losing pitcher was Dave Steve, rather. Cleveland and Oakland tonight, and we have a final on that one. The Indians have won it, 2-0. The winning pitcher, Barker, a 3-hitter. The losing pitcher, Steve McCatty. Kansas City and Detroit all tied up in the 9th inning, 3-3. Akins and Motley have homered tonight for the Royals. Brookins has hit one for the Tigers. Again, 3-3 tie, the ball game in the 9th. Chicago and Milwaukee, they played 6. The White Sox lead it 3-0. Harold Baines has hit a homer in that game. Minnesota and New York, they're now in the 9th. The Twins are leading it by a score of 3-0. Do we have a final on that? All right, Baltimore and Seattle, not yet underway. It'll be Jim Palmer against Glenn Abbott in that one. Boston at California a little later. Dennis Eckersley going against Jeff Zahn. Now let's take a look at the National League action. First of all, this afternoon, the Cubs managed to beat the Padres by a score of 4-3. Ken Kravik, his first win with the Chicago Cubs. Let's pick up the action where the team's at Wrigley this afternoon in the Cub third after Tim Lawler had intentionally walked Bobby Bonds to load the bases. He also walks Leon Durham, and that forces in the first run of that ball game. Chicago fifth, Henderson on third. Tabler on second, Bill Buckner batting against the drawn-in infield. Gets one past the first baseman. Both runners score. Watch Buckner go head first into second. Heads up baseball. Next batter, Leon Durham. Base hit to left. Now Buckner actually holds up between third and home. The throw goes into second base. Durham is looked back to first, but Buckner sneaks home. 4-0 Cubs. Now it's the Padres' turn. Gene Richards on first. The batter, Salazar, drives the ball into the left field corner. Extra bases. Richards will come around to score. It's a 4-1 count. Then the big inning is the Padres' ninth. Tidrow had walked 2 batters. Tying run comes to the plate in the person of Rupert Jones. Jones hits a gapper to right center. 2 runs score. It makes it a 4-3 ball game. But the rally fell short, and the Cubs would hang on to win it. Final score again, 4-3. San Francisco and St. Louis now in the 7th inning. The Giants hanging on in that one. 3-2, George Hendrick has homered for the Cardinals. 9th inning score, the Dodgers leading the Pirates 7-3. Make that 7-3 now. Montreal and Cincinnati. Now it's a final. Oh boy, the Expos really put it to them tonight. 9-1. The winner, Sanderson. The loser, Lacoste. And Gary Carter hit a grand slam. Houston and New York, another good ball game. And the score of that one has just changed, but let's pick up the action. Nolan Ryan and Greg Harris, and that's Joe Pittman singling to left. Cruz scores, puts the Astros on top. The Mets stop cold by Nolan Ryan, striking out Lee Mazzilli there in the 4th inning. 5th inning, the Mets are going to come back. 2 men on base. Base hit by John Stearns. Kingman scores. Ties it up 1-1 in the 5th. And the Mets threaten again in the 7th inning. Bases loaded. Nolan Ryan strikes out the pinch hitter, Mike Jorgensen, keeping the score 1-1, but we understand that Mookie Wilson has just homered, and that means the Mets have taken the lead in that ball game. And there's the final, Phillies and Atlanta really put it to our Phillies tonight by a final score of 12-2. Don't forget, Steve Fredericks is standing by with Sportsline 17 coming up next. We'll tell you about our next ball game after this.
This week's Solid Gold is at its hottest. The year's biggest stars count down the top 20 hits of 1980 with the Rolling Stones, Irene Cara's Fame, Air Supply's All Out of Love, Cliff Richard's Dreamin', plus Eddie Rabbitt, George Benson's Gimme the Night, Christopher Cross's Sailin', Paul Simon, the Pointer Sisters' He's So Shy, and Billy Joel. It's the top 20 hits of 1980. They're all solid gold.
Friday night at 11:30 on Channel 17.
Well, the Phillies, excuse me, the Phillies and the Braves go at it again tomorrow night. That game will not be televised here on Channel 17. And it's an off night Thursday. We won't see you again until Friday. And then the Phillies will be on the road in Houston. The ball game starts at 8 o'clock. We're on the air at 7:30 with the Phillies today. We'll see you then. Now stay tuned for Sportsline 17 coming up next.
This portion of Phillies Today has been brought to you by Fram Filters and Autolite Spark Plugs. Both Fram and Autolite are Bendix companies.
We took the whitener out of Final Touch. Forget it.
We're not taking them out. We're putting improved whiteners in.
You'd have to show me somehow.
Look, one wash was done with Final Touch fabric softener, the other with new improved Final Touch. Which is better?
This pile looks whiter to me than that pile. It's very soft. It really is. You improved it. You did it.
For a soft and whiter wash, add the Final Touch. It's improved.
Now can I have a bottle?
Ready, kids? Ready, Peggy. Okay, find the Trident. You're throwing Trident into the pool? Mm-hmm. Trident's new fresh pack is airtight to seal and flavor.
Found it.
It is fresh.
And soft. And see, 4 out of 5 dentist surveys recommend sugarless gum for their patients who chew gum.
Peggy, did you have to jump in the pool to get some Trident?
Trident guarantees freshness.
Recommended by moms like me who care about teeth.
If you live long enough and you're lucky, you may get the chance to see 2 or 3 originals in your lifetime. Here's your chance. Presenting the original Broadway star, Yul Brynner in Rodgers and Hammerstein's award-winning The King and I, an original for the entire family. That's right, live, on stage, in person, Yul Brynner, the original King. Get your tickets today at the Academy of Music or call 665-8051. That's 665-8051 now. It may be your last chance.
Join the fun in Mayberry every weekday afternoon at 12:30. Laugh with the Andy Griffith Show on WPHL Channel 17, Philadelphia. Sportsline 17 is brought to you by Martin Chevrolet Buick Honda on the Black Horse Pike in Turnersville, New Jersey. Martin, the incredible dealer. By Roto-Rooter Sewer and Drain Service, now your plumber, too. And by the Pennsylvania Lottery. And now, here is Steve Fredericks.
Well, that you are still here
watching us, listening to us on Sportsline 17 tonight is an indication to me that you're out of your mind. You know, it seems like only a couple of hours ago on the radio show on WCAU, the Sports Line at 5:30, I was saying how much I enjoyed last night's baseball game and how great the Phillies have been playing, and that even though the second half of the season didn't mean a whole lot for the Fightin' Phils, in fact, they kept playing ball like they had over the last couple of days. The real story was, who cared whether they had anything to play for or not? I mean, if you get a good, exciting come-from-behind effort like we got from the Phils last night, good grief, let's go to the ballpark. Let's pretend the baseball season is still alive, folks. And then there's the story of Mark Davis. Just called up yesterday from the Oklahoma City 89ers. He was 5-2 at Oklahoma City this year. His last 3 outings, Dallas Green said yesterday, they have been spectacular. He was the Mark Davis that won the Eastern League Player of the Year award a year ago. He won't be 21 until mid-October this year. Mark Davis. What a baptism of fire as a Major League starter he got from the Atlanta Braves tonight. The name of the game at baseball is still throw strikes. Mark Davis wild in the strike zone all night long, and when finally he faced a bases-loaded situation, he had to groove the ball, throw it down the middle for strikes. And, well, you saw Bruce Benedict on with Timmy McCarver as his post-game guest. Bruce Benedict parked one way up into the seats. Mark Davis, what kind of a future does he have with the Phillies? I think nothing but great. Please keep in mind what I said. This kid is not going to be 21 years old until the middle of October. I think the Phillies can afford to wait for Mark Davis. He had great credentials coming out of the Eastern League a year ago. Great credentials again this year at Oklahoma City after battling through the spring with lots of arm problems. His baptism tonight, a disappointment to be sure. And you know the kid feels worse than anybody else in the city. Nobody likes to get creamed in a ball game the way the Phillies got creamed by the Atlanta Braves tonight. But Mark Davis, well, let's forget about this one, and maybe if he keeps a spot in the starting rotation for the Fightin' Phils, who knows? He might be the next Kurt Simmons or Chris Short. Or what's that guy's name, number 32? Steve Carlton? Left-handed pitchers have not had a whole lot of success over the years for the Phils. Every once in a while, the good one comes along. Maybe Mark Davis will be the next great Philly left-hander. My golly, he sure didn't look like it tonight. This is Sportsline 17 here on The Great Entertainer. Our telephone number, 878-1717. We'll begin with your telephone calls right after this.
It's not working, Harry. Maybe a towel. Nah. Guess we have to get a plumber. I don't know a plumber.
How about Roto-Rooter?
Who said that?
Roto-Rooter. Who else?
Roto-Rooter does drains. You know, away go troubles down the drain.
Sure, but they do plumbing, too. Roto-Rooter knows all about pipes, so they know all about plumbing.
Roto-Rooter does plumbing? Why did they tell me?
We just did.
It's hard to believe, but one of the largest automobile complexes in this area is located in New Jersey, just off the Atlantic City Expressway in Turnersville. Martin, Honda, Chevrolet, and Buick on the Black Horse Pike, Turnersville, New Jersey. Over 18 acres of cars. It's really an automotive supermarket with more than 500 cars and trucks new and used. On-the-spot financing, 2 separate service facilities, and the highest trade-in allowances you'll ever get. Come see for yourself. Martin, Chevrolet, Buick, and Honda. The cars you want at the price you want to pay.
Listen, Mark Hamill may appear naive when he plays Luke Skywalker, but this week's People shows he's a pretty shrewd millionaire.
Then Debbie Boone told people exactly why her young husband lights up her life.
And everybody with a 3- to 5-year-old should read this article on dyslexia.
Look at this. Colonel Parker talked to people and denied he cut Elvis out of millions.
Plus story after inside story to keep People's 20 million readers in touch. So treat yourself.
Treat your family to this week's People.
With a scandal about Elvis's estate.
Ooh, you got that look. Ooh, you got style and perfection. The George Dash collection is you. Doing the time, hanging around, doing whatever you do. Ooh, you got the look. Ooh, you got that George Dash look.
Welcome back. Sportsline 17 is the name of the program. 878-1717 is the number. In case you've been just aroused from a long sleep, let me tell you that manager Dallas Green has been suspended by National League President Chub Feeney. Term of the suspension is indefinite right now. Mr. President Feeney said that he will review the tapes of last night's brouhaha at the ballpark once again. As a matter of fact, I think our first caller is Dan tonight. And Dan, I think, wants to talk about that play. Do you not, sir?
Yes, I do, Steve. I was wondering if you could enlighten me a little bit on the logic of the actions taken by Mr. Chub Feeney tonight. Number one, it seems that he didn't waste any time in rendering his decision as to Dallas Green's guilt, obviously, by suspending him indefinitely. But by the same token, it seems no action was taken against Nick Colosi for an obvious assault and battery, not to mention the obvious assault and battery and destruction of private property to the tune of $40,000.
Well, all right, let me stop you right there, Dan, because what we do, we've got the whole play from last night. And what I'd like to do, I'd like to run it and talk to you about it while it's running, because I think if you really take an opportunity to look at the play all over again, and we'll set it up for you right now. As you can see, Ron Reed is on the mound, and he's getting ready to deliver the ball that turns into what looked like a double play, only to create the argument. What happened last night, and gee, I wish you'd listen to the radio show at 5:30 every night, because we had an explanation of what happened with Feeney. There's Boa. It looked to me like he caught the bag with his heel, but how can you tell, really? I think the angles on the shots last night on that particular play were not sufficient to know whether Boa crossed the bag. What happened is that Feeney was watching the Phillies last night on the cable up in New York. So he got to see all of this. Okay, here's the slow-mo now of the play. You get an opportunity right here. You go ahead and decide, did Larry Boa catch the bag with his heel or not? Boa crosses, picks up the ball underhanded. Now watch, he looks over towards first base. Here comes the left foot. Did he get it right there or not? Is he stepping on it with his heel or not? Now, the umpire, he said he missed it by 6 inches. That's a crock. He didn't miss it by any 6 inches. Right. He may have missed it by a couple. It is what followed this. It's Dallas Green coming out of the dugout after this play and putting the charge on the umpire that really got Feeney to act quickly. If Feeney doesn't see the game on the cable in New York last night, and this is one of the great rhubarbs in baseball this year, if Feeney doesn't see what Dallas is doing right now, well, watch Dallas. He's already thrown Boa out for throwing the glove. Now, Dallas gets right up in his face. He touches him once, bangs him with the chest right there, hits him with the arm right there, got his hands on him again. You can't put your hands. He's not trying to rough the umpire up, but what he's doing is he keeps bumping him, and finally, when he goes after the umpire's cap, it's good night. Katie barred the door, and Dallas has got to be out of there. First, Dallas's cap goes. He goes. Dallas has been ejected. This is the play I love. Kicks the cap off, and then a Tony Franklin sidewinder shot between the uprights, 35-yard field goal. 3 points Phillies, no points Dallas Green. And again, I think the key to this whole thing, Dan, the key to this whole thing is that Feeney watched it live last night on the cable in New York. If Feeney doesn't see this, Dallas doesn't get suspended for 3 days.
I can accept that, but he has had time, obviously, in the last several hours. He's reviewed the umpires' written reports, their oral reports. How is it that after all this time has gone by, nothing has been said about the actions taken by 2 of his other umpires?
Well,
private individual.
Now, you're talking about the confrontation between the umpiring crew and the Channel 3 reporters and cameraman down in the ramp last night?
Right.
Well, I think he'll have to wait for a report on that. And, of course, if the local television station chooses not to pursue this thing, then there's very little that Chub Feeney can do. Quite frankly, Mike Forrest and the cameraman didn't belong in that ramp, but now you got to excuse Mike a little bit. He's a reporter, he's a journalist, so he's going to go where the story is come hell or high water, right?
Right.
So once you get Forrest down there, he's got his cameraman with him. The umpires, Colosi is the crew chief, and as you know, the question that they asked the umpire last night after the game in the ramp had to do with where was his colleagues when Dallas Green was bumping him around and Bo was screaming and yelling. You notice that Eric Gregg and Pulley and Colosi, they were nowhere to be seen, and this whole scab issue came up again. And Colosi took the heat and allegedly knocked the equipment out of the cameraman's hand. Now, if Channel 3 decides to pursue that, the West...